Mm. Mhm.
Politici magni, politici colombare, magne parati, politici colombare. Sentala, mborobola, nete politique, nete politique, politici magni, politici colombare, magne sabati, politici colombare. Obi Febi, Obi Fasini, Obi Tanobi, Obi Jambasini, vive le président, appelle le président, vive le général, appelle le général, obéi pour la mogo que l'État, obéi pour la tchèque que l'État, politique mani. Politici colombare, magne parati, politici colombare. Obetere forti la IR santé, catere forti la GD, obetere forti la IR santé, catere forti la GD, obetere forti la IR santé, catere forti la GD. Video why panka with it? Why panka with it? Why panka with it? Masuba kope na neka, tarakilu waye wiyo, waye panka wire.
Mani vau, made muso mani nchemau, ani tele. Sini anya kweni, dole Khalifa Donzo, kabo Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Nana video jonaka watilo, wokunde mine, kajiamu ula kafo election ye, aita katafuti. Fiana mini, kai balikabo. Bare midini numa nuwe ba mwa bare la. Wa ngetenda twa kumadila kata ilesho woloche sabale ni dima kumaba. Kuna resign kera. Ngetenda twa wala. Manivao, Madame Musoni, Mawane, Madame Chamao. Amuru na tam siala, kata voti, anichi. Amuru na ana robo koke la ka robo koke, ka for mulu yen, ka for election te, adomata, anichi. Muru donatala, kata po isuye ye, manga yin loki kosa, anichi. Muru do matanso familia ta kwa anichi. Communauté barelon, bati salala. Ika bien beka, yaki jelenye. Ika tuyonka, yaki jelela. So aya bani kalentere. Kaben election weke, eweba. Me una mina sila, wole bien camarade. So kaben resignation koma. Resignation ni na sebela. November 5th. Wani ngeta biara lima community la. Kabeke document kini kusamusa nyaina. November 15, 2020. Wolongele mu mama. Banangala tere domisio bola. Kwa makuna. Banangata. Mwaka kuma. Akoye bizankela. Walewe. Mwaka bemokima. Banakaboye. Wa nyaka dale banangine wekela ama ojila ufiano kafo mwana nyoye afone kunga bizanke letelamini aboni president Masako bo ka honorable commissioner Mwawe activity better law. Miserani on the 20th of November. Now resignation on the 15th of November. Kagila wana tamasi akakumamike. Bebeni kumama ni wojiala. Mwafana mito yedaba. Wonafunye responsibility nala. Iweke bala company na iwafa nite bala midefuye. Ya bala fembe ya bela timi. Nite bala kula ya bela olo. For example, July Beno. Mama ya Mubamba wafen. Mwajula bazan komne tandima. Kofa na fo dia July business. Akede kumajuna mfana imanalo. Nyando gada komne we sawa sana ngake efa o man dia bari. Niko komeri zanke obeko communication na niko komeri zanke olo. Nesini jolomina ni. So ya lima biya la wow ni kwale ni. Ne rezanke ni since November 5th 2020 December 2020 January 21 February 2021 March April May July August September Mwate si alaya. Ne rezanke. Alute soso akabe wali kuoma. Because it is a soso akabema. Because nyika okuma kwa rezanke. Mwa obla fangi fana. Mwa waki. Konono. Philadelphia ni kanti to. Zini jolomina na kasebe. Kukona rezanke. Ne rezanke. Ilema commission suggestion. Sainke ilema seremiana. Sainke ila US wow. Ni pone. Rezanko banza na kwesi ba mu we na ni mu ba. Alute makani fire rezanke. Wa community sule. Nyamite nyaluke kwa kake nyama kaadi anala kwa hela timi what this year around yola lima election week Men we bien. Que masale. Persevania Madingo Association election. Men we bien. Never ke fata den. Mo bena be akami mabukake. Woka we must sustain in akali. So maybe fine. More we Rizanka Yamima. We did back a fire. It is several be a committed a one effect I can document in me that get document in Yan Donka for Kumiken. So, whatever. Get a mamma Sawiana. Canana fan.
Finjete wala katmi. Video da way back here.
Standing before you tonight, my name is Amora Evi Fufana,
Secretary General of Demand
Relation Commission of
Philadelphia.
All right, today we hosted our general and presidential election here in Pennsylvania of Lima. And we are about to start getting our report of today's election. Today we are starting with the board of directors here on our list. And we are going to start with the total number of votes that we get for the day. Today we receive about 57 persons that voted in general. Out of the 57 persons, so we are going by the votes on our hands. For both of directors, number 10 is Musa Fufana. He obtained 25 votes. Number 9, Musa Sherry. He obtained 29 votes. Number 8, Afumba Kane. He obtained 32 votes. Number 7, Sekutore. He obtained 34 votes. Number 6, Ansu Donso. He obtained 36 votes. Number 5, Mohamed Suare. He obtained 36 votes. Number 4, Farouk Kone. He obtains 38 votes. Number three, John Kakane. He obtains 44 votes. Number two, Yahaya T. Sherry. He obtains 48 votes. Number one, Rosalind Kamara. He obtains 4 votes. And I want to make some clarity here because we said people selling votes, but if you see like 36.
Okay. Hold on, won't finish. All right. Good evening to each and every one of you. Sorry, I want to apologize for. We're not terribly behind time. We are not, but just having been stationed because I've had to work on a few housekeeping stuff, right? So. And that's why you see I'm running up and down trying to get things together. But I truly believe that the 2 videos that you saw earlier, I don't know how many of you saw it, but it's very important to the conversation we are about to have here, all right? The one from Brother KD, the former Election Commission chair, making a very compelling argument as to why there's no way it could have been dismissed, and perpetually. So yes, it is true. He's not denying the fact that he did write a letter of resignation, but there was a plea made, a letter sent to him by the appointing authorities, in person of my very good friend and outgoing president or former president, Soko Saka. A plea that the board also, in their wisdom, honor, in order to allow Brother KD to carry on the work of electing the people of Lima, Lima's next president. KD was favored to head this position because he's done it before. He's done it many, many times. And so the people of Pennsylvania, the people of Lima, the membership of Lima, believe in his, wisdom, his record, his resume when it comes to conducting elections. So no, they won't take a resignation from him easily. No matter how hard he tried, they managed to persuade him to stay on, and he did stay on and did the job and did it successfully. So today we have President-elect Honorable Bien Kamara of Pennsylvania, whether you like it or not. And honestly speaking, whether Bien takes over or not, that's up to them. But the fact remains, those elections were done legitimately in keeping with Lima's constitution, which we'll get to in a little bit here, because we spend the rest of the morning, our morning hours, going through Lima's constitution. So the young man was elected constitutional, and there's no debate about that. There's no one is disputing that. The problem is when you have so many troublemakers in each of our communities, people who cannot live by the truth, people who can't stand the truth, people who can live by Constitution. They utter the word Constitution, but they cannot stand it. They can't live by it. They are the one causing trouble in all of our communities. Whether it's in Minnesota, it's in Philadelphia, it's in Dallas, Houston, wherever you go, you have those kind of elements in every society. They are everywhere. They come in different forms and shape. Different sexes, right? Male, female, they are everywhere. They are very good at manipulating things and people for their own benefit. So I've sent invitation to Honorable Bien Kamara. I'm very sure he should be joining us in the next couple of minutes here so that we can begin this conversation. In the meantime, I asked him to actually delay his coming because, truly speaking, we should have started this show a little sooner than now, so as to have time to talk about some of the other things that are, trending in our community, especially in our own backyard, Minnesota. So I know right by now, and I mean very many of you are aware that tomorrow, I'm talking about tomorrow. I know tomorrow can be a future term. It could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year. The term tomorrow could be used to, but I mean immediate tomorrow, Friday, November 12th, the president of the Minnesota Mandingo Association, Honorable Solomani Jabateh, the program that he's long been advertising, the entertainment, the one he's long been talking about for the people of Minnesota, will go down tomorrow. Inshallah. That program is all set to go tomorrow, and we are expecting several dignitaries, several FEMUSA dignitaries coming from out of state to be our guests tomorrow. I wanted to run that by you. As a matter of fact, a considerable number of people, honestly, including my own daughter, obviously Madusu Kafumba Kroma, she is so anxious to meet. She said, "Daddy, I want to meet this wonderful Hawa Kroma lady." So the Hawa Kroma, I know you're watching, but just so you know, don't be surprised. There are folks here who truly want to see your physical being. They say, "Wow, we got to see this Hawa Kroma corner." For all the names, all that's been said about her, all that she's gone through, and all that she's done and continue to do for this community, there are so many people here in the Twin City who cannot wait to see you. Mind you, they may not be all your fans. I mean, they're not all in your backyard, right? For lack of better words, they're not all people who like you, but there are certainly people who want to see you. They want to see, they've seen several pictures of you, but pictures, they are different things. They want to see this, our lady. And we told them, well, be our guest tomorrow. This, our lady, God willing, will be ours. She'll be our guest. She'll be in the hall. For the very first time, she'll be touching down in Minnesota. Of course, she'll be coming down with several of our dignitaries. Being Bill Clintosh, the envoy, all of you know Bill Clintosh, right? At least for what he's been doing. So he's also expected to be in the hall, I'm told. Our brother Lai Toure of Atlanta, Georgia, the president of Atlanta Mandingo Association, President Lai Toure, he's been to Minnesota many times, but this other time will be unlike any other time. He's coming he's coming with a council lady. So when he travel with B people, by all extent, by all account, that kind of adds up your own status, right? So President Lai Toure, chapter president, he too will be accompanying Madam Hawa K. Corner to the Twin City tomorrow. So the event has been announced. There's been several robocalls, and the organizers, thanks to President Solomani Jabateh, they have made it so easy. They don't want anybody going out of their way. You don't have to go to... Oh, hold on. Please stop the music. Stop the music. Don't do that. Stop the music. We're not ready yet. Stop the music. Wait. So you don't have to go shopping for, all of us as Africans, Mandingos, all of us got some traditional, attires. And that's why, hold on here, to be in some of my life, 1 second. Sorry about that. That's President Bien trying to make his way to studio. He's right around the corner. He's going to be here. So anyway, I was saying that President Solomani and his team of organizers for tomorrow's event have been very generous in the sense that they don't want anybody spending any more money than you need to. So as a result, they've decided that you can come with anything. As long as you're not coming naked, you are welcome. right? Wear your traditional clothing, wear your Western clothing, anything that covers your body. It's okay to come to tomorrow's event, I'm told. That's my understanding, right? Just don't come naked. That's the only thing we don't call for. Then you'll be charged for public nuisance, right? So, but other than that, you are more than welcome to come. Now, only that, they've made the entrance fee just a $10 flat rate, 10 United States dollar. I don't know. I'm going to that event tomorrow. I plan to be one of the first people, and I want to pay for the first 50 female that were arrived, first 50 ladies, right? It doesn't matter. Well, don't be jealous. I mean, I know you can. So look, this is just my thing. The first 5 sisters that will show up to that event tomorrow, I want to pay that $50. Because we need to come out in full to support tomorrow's event. Tomorrow's event will be on like no other. Look at it this way. For the very first time, we got people coming to Minnesota. The very first time, these are people who were raised in this country. I don't even want to say who been. They were raised in this country, almost born here, right? But they've never been on this soil, on the soils of Minnesota. Tomorrow, though, by this time tomorrow, Saturday. By this time Saturday, they will be here. Some will be arriving tomorrow. I'm told some will be arriving tomorrow. I'm not sure how many, but I've learned from reliable sources. I've learned a good number of people will be arriving tomorrow. But Saturday, for sure, by this time Saturday, all that is scheduled to be here for this event would have been here by then. I think so. I want to believe so. Although, given the time, unless you want to talk about President Lai Touré, people who are in charge of flight, they fly at will, they make their own time. They can crash any event at 7, 8, 9 p.m. right when the event is about to kick off and then leave at the end of the event, except people like him. But other than that, if you are a plebeian like me, and if you are just, most people will come a little early, right? So that way you get to see the town get to see you, maybe, just maybe, we get to run you to more of America. The one thing that they want more, that every visitor to Minnesota like to see, right? Keep in mind that I'm told it's the only twin, there are several malls around America, but there's none like Mall of America. That is the truth. So if you made it here soon enough, we might have a team of people willing to drive you, run you around Mall of America. Maybe you want to see some of our 10,000 lakes, the ones that make the Twin Cities, Minnesota, Minneapolis, set of 10,000 lakes, and just maybe we might also show you the boundaries between the Twin Cities, right? The Twin City here now in Liberia. I know you know where I'm going with that. The Twin City here in the state of Minnesota, St. Paul and Minneapolis. We might show you the boundaries. We might take you to the state capital. Just side attraction, why not just to enjoy your stay here? So Bien is joining us. He's prepared to come and speak to us some very, very challenging issues of our time. And I've got some very, very serious questions for him if he does not take them head on during his initial deliberation. And I hope you keep prepared to challenge the man too. Because nowadays, community leadership is not what it used to be 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Community leadership has become a national leadership now. You have to make decisions that have impact at the national level. You have to interact with national, stakeholders. All right, people come to community politics now to build up their resume for national politics. All of these things happening, and so the community leadership position of the 21st century is nothing like what it used to be. So, and for me, it seems like there's no one who is better prepared to lead the people of Pennsylvania, Lima, than brother, Bien Camara. So hang in there tight. Please help us share the show. Let's share the show so that we can make maximum use of this show, right? So So we are going to make sure. One of the things I really look forward to tonight is President Bian Kamara's upcoming inauguration. I hope he posts the time to that so that some of us can begin preparing ourselves, acquiring the appropriate attire, ticket, accommodation, so that we can all make that inauguration a grand one. And definitely, I don't know whether President Bian will be among the guests arriving here tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, I don't know. But we'll question him on that. We'll see if he plans to be here. Because, look, we live in times where you have got to work with people who want to work with you. You got to associate with people who want to associate with you. We have got to understand that we can't please all people at all times. We can't. There's no way you can please everybody. All right? Anyone who tries to do that, straight out hypocrite. It has never worked. It will not work. Right? Take stand, no matter how serious of an issue you have before you. Do some soul searching, do self-analysis, do inquiry, do investigation, and take a stand. If your stand is wrong, so be it. It won't be the first time. There's always been men have always made a wrong decision, mistakenly. If it's wrong, so what? What if it's right? And yet you fail to take position. Would you ever forgive yourself for that? Would you? I wouldn't. And so, you know me, I'm on record. No matter how difficult of an issue that we have to deal with, whether at the community level or the national level, unless I'm not aware, unless I'm not consulted, but you want my opinion, I'll give it to you. I'll tell you any day, any night, I'll tell you where I stand on that particular issue. You don't have to stand there with me. Just because I'm standing there, you don't have to stand there. But I will stand there. Because that's what I happen to believe to be the right position at that time. All right? So, and that is why we have come to recognize Brother Kamara's win in the just ended election in Pennsylvania. Despite all said, from the videos you saw earlier, from the election commissioner, listen to this guy's compelling argument, for instance.
Manivao, Mademoso Mani Madenchemao, Anitele. Sine Anyakweni, Dole Khalifa Donzo, Cabo Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Nana video Jonaka Watilo, Wokunde Mine, Kajiamula Kafo election ye, Aita Katafuti. Fiana Mini, Kai Balikabo. Bare midini numa nuwe ba mwa balela. Wa ngetenda twa kumadila kata ilesho woloche sabale ni dima kumaba. Kuna rizankera. Ngetenda twa wala. Manivao. Mademusoni mawani madenchemao. Amuru na tamsiela kata voti. Anichi. Amulu na ana robo koke la ka robo koke ka fo mulu yen ka fo election te adomata aniche muru donatala kata police uyeye manga yin loki koseko aniche muru do matanso ka miliata kwa tate aniche communauté barelon dote salala e ka bebeka ya kijele nye e ka tuyonka ya kijele la. So I have barricaded TV. Kaben election weke ereba. Me una minasila wole bien camarade. So kaben resignation koma. Resignation ni na seba. November 15. When get a biara lima community la kabeke document kine kusamu usanyena. November 15, 2020. Wolongele mu mema vanangala tere domisio bola kwa makona. Vanangata mwaka kuma koye kute rizankera walewe mwaka benko kema bana kaboye wa nyakata letele gbananu gene katimi wajila record do muludo en meeting wekela wo weke record ya ma wajila proof ya no ka fo mwana nyoye na afane ko nga rizanke letele mini aboni president Masako bo ka honorable commissioner komawe il activity bela law yali election Mr. on the 20th of November now resignation on the 15th of November kagila mwana tamasi aka kumamike bebeni kumama kunga rizanke miwo yela mwafana mito yedaba wona funye resi mo rizanke any responsibility le nala iweke bala company na iwafa ko rizanke nite bala grupu elo minde funye ya bala fembe ya bela timi nite bala grupu la ya basha timi ya aka uniform di makeda bela timi ale beka olo for example julagbeno madam mama ya mubamba wa fanya ko nen mo jula yake bazan kom le tandima ko fawla na fon wondi ya jula ya lo dia business lo akede kuma juna mi fa na fe mi di manalo nyano gada kom le wende ma nya sawa sane ngake ngeta bedan de lekela fo o man dia bare nyoya lo ni ko me rizanke wo be ko communication na na ko me rizanke olo nesini jolominoni so ya lima bia dala wa woro ni kole ne bio ne rizanke ni since November 15 2020 December 2020 January 21 January 2021 February 2021 March April May June July August September mwate si ala ya ne rizanke ni alute so akabe wali ko oma because it is so akabema because you ka okuma ga foteli en kwa ma rizanke mo obla fangin fana mo waki ani mo konono Philadelphia ni kante toula zini jolomna na da sebembe ikoko na rizanke ne rizanke ilema sainkin ilema commission sugbelation sainkin ilema sebemiana sainkin ila USC wa community a USC wa woro ni ko nebio reason ko gbanza na poisi mu woro ba mu wewe awe na ni mu wura bae alute o makani na mi fa ma rizanke wa ma community sulewe nyamite ko akake nyalute ko akake nyama ka adi anala akwa ya latini what this chair around yola lima election week me we bien la ke masale Pennsylvania Madingo Association election week me we bien kamara ke masale ne va ke fatede mo bena be akami makoka ke woka if I were my system in a kale. So, let me find mani vau. Made chemani made musumau. Doka fanya kuna rizanke. Mo we rizanka bekalo rizanka nyamima. Mite beka fanya. Ulewe. Aniche. Gete sewa ubi alima community la wana feka ke document yene ine meeting gete mulu bi akake document yene nyate video la yallo ka fo komikeni so whatever gete mo masawiye na kana na fano
Mia, welcome. Please hang tight. Give me a few minutes. Just hang tight. We see you, all right?
Thank you.
Yeah, please hang tight. Please hang tight. We got yeah.
Before you tonight, my name is Amora Evi Fufana, Secretary General of Lima Election Commission of Philadelphia. All right, today we hosted our general and presidential election here in Pennsylvania of Lima. and we are about to start giving our report of today's election. Today, we are starting with the board of directors here on our list. And we are going to start with the total number of votes that we get for the day. Today we receive about 57% that voted in general. Out of the 57%, so we are going by the list here on our hands. For both of directors, number 10 is Musa Fofana. He obtains 25 votes. Number 9, Musa Sherry. He obtains 29 votes. Number 8, Kafumba Kane. He obtains 32 votes. Number 7, Sekou Toure. He obtains 34 votes. Number 6, Ansu Donso. He obtains 36 votes. Number 5, Mohamed Soare. He obtains 36 votes. Number 4, Farouk Kone. He obtains 38 votes. Number 3, Janka Kane. He obtains 44 votes.
All right. So the president is here. We're going to get started here. We are behind time in just a few seconds. 30 seconds, we'll get started, folks. All right, Honorable President-elect, your background is are you getting some feedback from your end, Honorable President? Are you getting the same feedback, the echo?
Yeah, when the music was being played, it was not that clear, but I'm by myself. I don't have.
So you're not getting the feedback, right?
I think we should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. I was getting the
except.
feedback. I was getting the feedback not long ago, but it's kind of better. I think it's gotten better.
Yeah, you want to find out from the audience too.
Yeah. I think it's gotten better. Yeah, it's definitely gotten better. So,
okay.
Greetings to you, and sorry for putting you through all the headache of trying to come on the show. Sometimes that's how it is, but I'm glad you're here, right? How about we begin? I don't think there's anyone more deserving of a national anthem than you right now. I mean, I envy you, man. I want to sit in that position again, the position of having been elected and just waiting for I mean, presidency comes with a lot of challenges, but at the same time, there's no better role to play in your community, in your country than that. So I think you deserve the national anthem, and let's start with that, please.
Oh, thank you.
Let's love, let's love, love,
That. This video is so heavy. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. And the only other thing I want to ask you to do, if you don't mind, if you could join me so we can jointly thank our veterans, our veterans for having put down their lives to defend this country and all of its inhabitants, residents, immigrants like ourselves. You know what it means when people join the army, they go to service.
Yep.
The reason why this day was set aside, to thank them. And personally, I don't think we can thank them enough. It's a huge sacrifice when you join a service and then you get deployed without any assurance that you come by alive. So let's say thank you to our veteran. Thank you to all of you so very much. I would have loved to call names, but we don't know all of them. And every time you try to call names, there's always a chance that you will forget some people, and then you create problem. Other people get offended. But otherwise, I did miss phone calls. I called several of our veterans today to personally thank them. In fact, if it wasn't for this day, I would be at work right now. I'm sitting at home because of their holiday that they have truthfully earned. I don't know why I'm sitting at home being paid on holiday when I didn't put my life on the line as much as they did. So I can't be grateful enough for their services to this country. To defend all of us rights as people, and our rights include your right to be elected by the people of Lima as the president. You are a community servant, a son of the soil. You pay your dues. You serve in other capacity. He did all like some other presidents around various chapters. He didn't just jump from the blue sky and decide he won't be president. You have been part and parcel of Lima. You pay your dues. You are the VP, the VP that the president was one time so proud of. It is your time to serve, my brother. So I want to take this time to thank you and welcome you to the Liberian Diaspora Forum Weekly Talk Show.
Thank you.
By extension, I want to invite all of our viewers now and later, because mind you, LDF has become such that I've always said this, we got more viewers waiting for the show to be done, but they don't want to come live so their friends can see them and say, but you were there. So they were sneaking, they come to the back door and watch the show, and we get that. That's fine. That's okay by us. So welcome to the show, and by extension, welcome to all of our viewers here now or would be here after the fact.
Thank you.
Greetings to you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. and senior brother, the CEO of LDF, somebody that I admire so much. Thank you for your great service to our community, and not just my Dingo community, but the entire Liberian community. For some of us that have been living here for a couple of years now, we know exactly what LD have done for us. So we cannot, thank you enough for your great humanitarian service to our community. On that note, we'd like to say thank you to all of our viewers, great men and women of our community. We want you to listen keenly because when you believe in intellectualizing issues, so far to disagree and agree and move our community forward, it is very important that you neutralize yourself and listen to the key facts, a few information that we're going to be providing today. So that's just an introduction. I would like to say thank you ever so much for coming up, and we look forward to all of you.
Okay. Thank you. I couldn't have a greater, honor than having you on my platform on this wonderful Thursday, November 11, on the Veterans Day, such a great day. So I'd like to begin our conversation with a very simple, question, which is that you've been elected, and we just listened to the election commissioner, and I'm really glad that I uploaded this video for people to hear what happened, because we've heard other people on other platforms trying to push one narrative, one side of a very twisted argument. You can resign, but if the appointing authorities insist that you stay based on the work that they know you can do, on the work that you've done before, your experience, your integrity, and they insist that you stay, who are you to say no to your community? All right? We have an organization here where no one says no. I got some buddies on the line that will tell you, when you are giving the tax, you just cannot reject it. I don't know how we came to with such a crazy decision, but that's how it is. Many a times I have decided I want to say no, but we can't. So Mr. KD made a very compelling case right there. He had two different letters in his hand. It is true. I resign. I'm not disputing that. But what is also true is that the people that were supposed to have granted my resignation insisted that they would not honor it unless I come back and do the job of Lima. And so I did, including the fact that he was still in possession of several thousands of dollars. So no case right there, my brother. My first question to you, what's trending? Ever since you were elected, it's been kind of quiet. We're not hearing much. So what's Lima up to now? What bring up to speed, if you will.
Well, Lima is what should I say? Lima is a very beautiful organization. Lima is a very beautiful organization. You've been following everything. From 2020 up to now, you've been following everything. So to ask me a simple question, inaugurations I planned, we've been receiving numerous of interest being expressed to lead or to participate in the inauguration. That's on plan. But right after the elections, I observed some, unusual activity in the community, wherein we saw the president going straight on Facebook to report to Facebook. I don't know where the president saw that to be a professional work, wherein Lima activity will be taken straight to Facebook, and it's not even addressed to anybody. So we saw that, but because we did not see any, professionalism expressed to it, so we couldn't take that serious. At the same time, the misinformation that was being sent to the community, we feel that as a community with huge, population of Mandingo people from everywhere, we deem it necessary to take a break and make inquiry to what actually make the president, the outgoing president, to do what he exactly did on Facebook. So our funding make us to understand that the president has been successful in spreading misinformation on social media that there's a chaotic situation going on in Philadelphia. Okay. We want to categorically clear that.
Okay.
There's nothing like chaos in Pennsylvania on October 17, 2021. The Independent Election Commission, headed by Honorable Khalifa Donzo, organized, free, fair, transparent, and very participatory election. And after tallying the ballot paper, Mr. Bien Camara was announced as president of Lima. That is Liberian Mandingo Association in Pennsylvania. Okay. It's what happened. Okay. So if anybody disagree with the election commission, Mr. Kroma, you go through the bowl. You go through the bowl. If you disagree, you file protests. And the records are there. The document is there, which is the constitution to show the smooth path to all of us. But why should we disagree with our own book that our founding fathers sat down overnight, think about it, put ideas together that will guide you and myself in combination with our beautiful tradition. Because that is mentioned even in the Constitution that we must respect. We must respect the tradition. We must respect our elders. So the elders, the intellectuals within the community sat down and put book together. They call it organic law that's supposed to show everything vividly to every one of us. Why must we put that aside and get on Facebook, be talking about unreasonable misinformation to the people there?
So let me hold you right there. I'm glad. I mean, I like your intro. I mean, that's to me, that's still part of the intro, and I like that. I mean, I like the fact that you're starting your appearance on the premise that the outgoing president, the former president, the man whose authority has, expired 2-3 years ago, that he, of all people, rather than uniting the community, is going around trying to misinform the community, trying to create a situation that does not exist. So I want to begin tonight, though. Like, if you saw the post, the few things that I like to draw you through. One will include the unity, accountability, constitution, by-elections, and obviously, by all account, inauguration. Inauguration seems to be at the last, but I want to begin with that just based on what you said. Look, there's only one way to know whether former President Soko Sako has been successful, the way you put it. He's been successful. There's only one way to know, in my opinion, which is your inauguration. Should you play inauguration the way the people, responded, the way they turn out, the way they welcome the idea of going to the ballot box to replace those who have far lived their constitutional authority? You will know that. So why are you wasting time for an organization that's so much in desperately need of new leadership because other people's terms have elapsed? So why have you constituted inaugural team yet? If so, when? Do you have dates and time?
Like you said, we're gonna anything with the inauguration, we're gonna keep that to be our closing part of the show. I just wanted for all to go straight to the point as we catalog them on Facebook.
Okay.
Or on the social media. Let's just deal with them like that. If we are going to deal with the election, if we're going to start with the election, let's go to the election, how the misinformation came about, the role of the president, the role of the board, how the president, deceived the community and fabricated chaos. So when I said that the president has been successful in misinforming the people, we want to hit a key point, so the people can know exactly where we're coming from. So if you want to start with a pre-electoral period to wherein the president was involved in the election, then before the chairman resigned, before the board called the chairman to continue his work, before the chairman came out to settle election, before we win. If you want for us to start from that angle, fine. If you want for us to go to the other report, of the institution, and so we can know whether it is because of the other report that president serving, the outgoing president acting like an opposition. If it is that because
I'm interested in that part because as far as pre-election, honestly, I don't think this audience, because those who are supposed to make that case have made a case. Even the people that just played by the election commissioner, he just told us happy, right? Because one of former President Soko Sako key point has been that KD resigned as a commissioner. Well, KD just came and proved that yes, he resigned, but Soko Sako, along with the board, rejected that. He just proved that beyond all reasonable doubt. So let us now go and repeat that. I think that's going to bore the audience. How about we talk about accountability? The audit report, we should follow accountability. So why do you think, what is in the audit report that's so worrisome to the outgoing president to the extent that he cannot take the outcomes of the people's votes. What's in the audit report? Can you tell us?
The president is to report periodically. The president is to report to the board to give the financial background of the organization. And I'll tell you this, Mr. Kroman, from the beginning of our administration, the board went very, very, very quiet for unjustifiable reasons. So that gave the president leverage. According to the audit report, the findings said the president withdrew from the account that was more than constitutional amount, which is $500, on numerous occasions, according to the audit report. And it is the audit report they both set up after they came from their leave. They both set up that audit report. I think Brother Musa Trawale and Mohamed Kosha were part of that audit committee. They set up that audit committee, and the auditor came up with their findings. We did not see that report until the election period. And the reason why the report came out is because we raised the issue. We raised the issue that the reason why the president is involved with everything is because of the audit report. Where is the audit report? Before the chairman of the board demanded the auditor to send the audit report. And on that audit report, the finding said the president withdrew money without the consent of the treasurer and the financial secretary.
How much total? How much money total?
Well, the money mismanaged in that account is 12,000 plus.
12,000 plus.
12,000 plus. Now, and this happened, I think, from somewhere 2019 to from I think the audit period was from 2018 to.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, having a little internet issue there. So folks, if you just join us, I want to take this time to thank you for joining us, to most certainly welcome you to the Liberian Diaspora Forum weekly talk show, though it hasn't been weekly of late due to our own busy schedule. But that's what it used to be. That's why we pride ourselves on. And inshallah, we are doing everything we can to get back to that, especially so as we warm up towards national politics, right? You know, elections in Liberia are getting closer than you think, right? You know, in 1 month, in just a month after December, it'll be 2022. And I want to believe that 2023 campaign will take with going full gear in 2022. So we're kind of re-strategize towards that. Hopefully we'll go back to weekly. So Bien has left us. He's going to come back. It always happens. It's an internet issue. Even though we are all in America, it's in Philadelphia, Minnesota. Maybe we got better internet in Minnesota than Philadelphia. What do you think? It's just my take. But so in the meantime, let's take, let me keep you entertained while we are waiting for President-elect Bien's return.
This country is not about education. It's about what the Liberian people needs. Our needs and wants. The leader that can provide all the best praise, look at your homes, look at your villages. You are living in huts. If book and English can develop country, Liberia is supposed to be the best country in the world.
Can you imagine that?
Let's talk about 104 million.
Liberia is a small country in West Africa, as you know, and like a lot of small countries, they print their money abroad and then they ship it into the country. It's just cheaper to do it that way. So at some point last year, the Central Bank of Liberia ordered up 16 billion Liberian dollars to be printed and shipped to Liberia. 16 billion Liberian dollars is about 104 million US dollars. So they put that money in canvas bags. They put it in 20-foot tall sealed containers. It entered Liberia. It cleared customs sometime late last year, earlier this year, and then it vanished. $104 million. Poof.
Wow.
Now, when we're talking about U.S.-China trade, 104 million may not sound like a lot of money.
Oh, but in Liberia, it's
that's
huge.
5% of GDP. Yeah. This is one bank heist big enough to affect the inflation rate in that country.
Holy smokes, 29.
29. Japan is a country that has been...
We're forgetting that we need each other. We're forgetting that we need to look out for each other. We're forgetting that except the least of us is taken care of, that the best of us cannot survive. We're forgetting that it's one world and it's a very small world. I've traveled across all the continents, and I can tell you, we need each other. It's such a small world that if we don't learn to love and respect ourselves and forget those things that we think are important but are actually unimportant, and if we do not have the courage to speak up when we should, then we set every one of us up for trouble. Take a child from every local environment in this world, no matter their tribe, the color of their skin, their language, or where they...
So if you're just joining us, I want to take this time to thank you for doing so. If you're wondering what's happening, we just lost the president. His line, internet line, that's probably, buffering a little bit, but I expect him to return very, very soon. And if he does, we will resume the show. In the meantime, we want to let you know, we want all of you to know that this weekend, all road leads to Minnesota, right? The MMA event, the Minnesota Mandingo Association has a big event here this Saturday in Brooklyn Center. Interestingly, the city I still live. So we look forward to receiving several dignitaries from out of state. Several dignitaries, key among the dignitaries coming from out of state will be my own sister, the people's leader, the councilwoman, the most famous council person of our lifetime, Madam Hawa Nkrumah-Corner. There are so many people here who want to see Hawa Nkrumah-Corner. They want to see her for being rightfully stubborn, right? I mean, I want to be clear about that. Stubborn can be negative, depending how you used it. But Hawa is stubborn for the right reasons. She doesn't draw back. She takes a stand for the right reason, and she sticks with that. And for that, many people have come to admire her without even seeing her. So I cannot count how many people have told me that they want to come to the event Saturday, not because they want to dance, not because they know how to dance like Lai Touré, but because they want to see this woman, this lady called Hawa Nkrumah. They want to see her in person. They want to shake her hand. They want to pray for her, and they want her to pray for them. This is someone they envision their children to become, and this is key, folks. Let's listen to this. This is key. I've always asked the question. So if she is your leader, and she is your other leader, and we all have children. If you're lucky to have a daughter among your children, do you want your daughter to be like her? Does she look like, is she presidential enough? Does she look like a role model to you? Would you like your daughter to model her in terms of her morals? Would you like that? Just a food for thought, right? You don't have to answer that. It's a rhetorical question. But I know a lot of people will be coming to the MMA event this Saturday night, in part because, if nothing else, they want to see Hawa Nkrumah-Corner. They want to see what. I mean, Hawa, you should be proud of yourself. You've done a remarkable job for the Mandingo community in the diaspora, FEMUSANs, and by extension, the Liberian community in Atlanta, Georgia. So we can't wait to receive you, and not the least. I mean, how do I want to say this? We also look forward to receiving my own friend and brother, Honorable Bay Clintosh, a man who is positioned to be one of our next representatives in Liberia, inshallah, come 2023. He's going to be in the hall as well. And Lai Toure has been cheating for this program because he's been practicing dancing secretly. He's been dancing in private so that when he comes to Minnesota Saturday, the dancing competition that is slated between him and Dolly, so that he can win that competition. Now, Lai, your secret is out. I just told Dolly about you. So that dancing competition, if you win it, I hope I'm now on the judges' bench because I will now declare you winner simply because you've been cheating. So President-elect B.A. Kamara will be joining us. I got to tell you, though, before he returns, if former President Abubakar Soko Sako is doing what the President-elect had just said in intro, because we just started the show, just in his first paragraphs, first sentences to allege that the outgoing president, a man who has served that community so long, will go down so that low to go around to spread rumors, pass information that he know that found. Now they are not true informations that have the propensity of dividing our people further. If he can work with his own former VP to unite the community, he should not be doing the opposite. That's not going to take this community anywhere. Haven't we learned, or are we ever going to learn? So now you can see the President Kamara is back with us, and I don't want to take his time. So President Kamara, welcome back. We were talking about the audit report under accountability. You were insinuating that you believe. Can you hear me? Bien. Are you there? Come on now, no? Bien. Okay. Can anybody hear me though? I don't know. Could it be that my internet is having problem and not Bien's? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Can someone give me thumbs up or at least acknowledge that? Okay. Okay, so I'm being heard. So, Bien, can you hear me? Okay. Usually I expect this when I'm hosting people from overseas. When I hosted Janet the last time, Cabinet Janet, or what's that lady want to be senator in Liberia. So, but now with somebody in America, I don't. Hello, Bien?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, but no image. We just got your picture. What's happening? What's going on?
I was using a laptop and the children misplaced the charger. So, it just signaled me right away, it started going off. So,
the laptop died?
Yeah, the laptop is down. Wait, let me see.
Okay. Okay, that's strange. That's news. But anyway, so see what you got to see, whatever you're working on. Let me know when you're ready to fire, to get back on the platform. So, something that Bia said that is key. Our problem, okay, the Bia is back on the other side here. Better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you now.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, go ahead. And so I was saying that before you left, before your alarm went by, you were talking about the audit report on accountability. You said you believe that has something to do with the way the former president is behaving. You said the audit report shows that the president withdrew several $500 without the approval of the other people who were supposed to be aware. In total, the audit report, a report I have yet to see, that's why I'm quoting you. In total, it is believed that the president, has withdrawn at least something in the tune of 12,000 plus. And I've heard Leo say this too, by the way, many times over. So that's where you were, just to put you back on point. So then what?
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about audit reports. Mm-hmm. You will understand that when you go through that audit report, don't forget about the amount of money that the president withdrew. But the key word on that audit report is that unilateral withdrawal of fund from the organization account.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the auditor said,
Okay.
the unilateral withdrawal of fund
Mm-hmm.
from the organization account,
Mm-hmm.
that's in itself is more than the money.
Okay.
Because in organization like Lima, you got a treasurer, financial secretary, and the president signatory to the account. But in some cases, they give ATM card to the organization. So in that way, you will notice that, somebody can go and withdraw. If you can't go to bank to withdraw by yourself, by yourself, but you can use the card to still withdraw. So the audit report made that very clear that there was some money withdrew from Lima account, and it was done single-handedly by the president.
Several times.
Before the audit and after the audit. After the audit, that's a period wherein when the previous committee was set up by the board to audit the administration, when it came out with a report from that period to present, there's still financial malpractice within Lima. And there where the board going to come in. There where I said the board went to bed for unreasonable time period. Because if you set up committee, if you set up audit committee and the auditors reported to you, you never show the public the audit report until when the public asks for it. As a board, that's a negligence. That's a negligence. Then, after the audit, from that period up to now, the board never showed any piece of letter that the president gave them with respect to the finances of Lima. From the day that report came out to president, you can ask the outgoing president. He never gave the community any piece of paper concerning about the finances of the organization. And this man still boasting that he's suspending people from organization without kind of a moral gap. You understand? So if saying the truth and defending the community is the one that people call dividing community, I have chosen to be the sacrifice for that, division, to say, okay, when you speak a fact, when you choose to hold the Constitution the way it's supposed to be, when you decide to change the community, for all of us to follow the law that we put together. And that's exactly that destroy all the Majingo organization, Mr. Kroma.
Yes.
People failure to follow the Constitution and their willingness to expose themselves to risks. Then when they get into the risks, they don't want for people to talk about risk analysis. So if you make yourself vulnerable to financial malpractice and your constitution is against it, then you don't want for people to talk about it. That is the reason why you see in every Majingo organization, you see division. Because if you decide to go critical, you become personal enemy.
Okay.
You become personal. So let me not drag you. In the audit report, it is there. The board did not call the president for periodic report.
President Kamara, okay, I get it. I get it. This one you left no stone unturned. You've made the case. Here's the question I got for you though, with regard to this audit report under accountability that we're still discussing this. I said before, and I will say it again, one of our own brother, my own uncle, Leo Sese, a renowned talk show host, a member of Lima, he's raised this issue many times over. He's asked me to host him so he can have this conversation. And he gave the same figure, 12,000 plus, 12,800 something. So in typical Liberian term, we say where there's smoke, there's probably fire, right? So some other people said it. Here you are saying it. But the difference between you and Sarko has done his term. Sarko has served the people, has served Lima. He's exiting, he's formal. You are coming. So what is your approach? What will you do as the president-elect? Should you be inaugurated? Do you intend to pursue Soko, the previous administration, for this 12,000 plus alleged misappropriation, mismanagement, or how do you intend to use that to resolve this issue vis-a-vis you uniting your community? How do you want to handle this?
Well, let me say this. From the beginning of everything, if you remember when I appeared on your show like a year ago, I told you that if somebody decide to say, hey, I want to work for my community, for the fact that the person have decided to work for their community, you must start appreciating them.
True.
So we appreciate everybody that contributed one way or other to the growth of our people.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you go against the organic law, you must make yourself vulnerable to accountability. It's what they call leadership. It's what they call leadership. So what's going to happen? When we take over, immediately we take over, we're going to call for stakeholder meeting.
Okay.
The stakeholder meeting will be held, and that will be supervised by the vice president and the elected board members.
Okay.
You understand? So they're gonna, preside on that. If we are to go after the past leader for their financial malpractice, that will be established. But the people representative, called stakeholder, if we are to give them amnesty, then that will also be developed. But we're not going to take financial malpractice for granted. We're not going to do that.
So that is a message for all to hear, including the former president, outgoing president, Soko Sarko. That look, you can run to all the talk shows you want. You can use all the vocabulary, all the terminology that you want. By the end of the day, when President Bian Kamara is sworn in, after he should have taken the oath as the president of Lima, he's going to consult stakeholders and the decision will be made vis-a-vis the unaccounted for, the people's money that is unaccounted for, so to speak, right? The 12,000 plus, I'm told.
The 12,000 is before the audit. The 12,000 is before, when the audit was done. Like the 12,000, that's a report within the audit. Then after the audit, right after the election, October 17 election, October 22nd, 5,000 was withdrew from Lima account.
This is not part of the 12,000.
That's not part of the 12,000. So it's like why the president were using a robocall to misinform the people not to come and vote. The president was also thinking, shall the election goes on, I have to withdraw this money. On the 22nd, 5,000 was being withdrawn from Lima account. So these are challenges that we are facing, even though we are hugely getting prepared for the inauguration. What is it that amount should be withdrawn from the account? Then the board is not saying anything about that. Only to draw the outgoing president to stigmatize the free, fair, transparent election.
So look, let me digest this for a second here. So one old lady, Oma here, asked me recently whether we get paid for this community leadership. We were at the funeral, Brother Vaboli Kamara, may his mother soul rest in peace. We were there. As I exited the residence, this Omar confronted me. And I thought she was calling me for something different. She said, Kafuma, I really want to know whether you guys take pay for this community leadership. And I thought, why would she even bring this conversation out, when we are here, we'll all bereaved. But, when I got in my car, I gave it a thought. I thought, maybe she was getting to something. Now, I think now, in retrospect, I'm thinking now, so all along, when we have been in community service, we've contributed to it. We put money into it. But of late, all the different stories that we'll continue to hear now, whether it's at FEMUSA level, people running to go get the 1,000 after election, or people shipping medical equipments after election results are announced, they didn't go their way, whether it's the unaccounted for $18,000 to do with an audit report over and again. So, I can't help but wonder, so now there are people within our maze who go into community service to pay themselves. It's no longer a community service for free for all. Some people are truly there to get something. But so here's the thing though. So your inauguration is impending, it's coming up. And if all these happen, if $12,000 was gone, poof, unaccounted for, now the remaining 5,000, so to speak, has also been withdrawn. So it sounds like you are coming to power. You are taking over a very broke organization. Is that a fair assessment?
I mean, we try our best. We try our best not to start our operation with zero balance, but we have now shown that it's going to work for us. Yes, I want to tell you that because of that incident, we may likely start zero, like the way he and myself started. When I am president started, outgoing President Sarko started, we started zero. We started zero. It being a culture like that. And that's not only customized to Lima. Most of the organizations, especially Madingo organizations, are like that. You understand? People will do everything in their power to make the coffin empty for the next leadership. So the challenges can be widening. It is confirmed that 5,000 was being withdrawn for Lima account on the 22nd. For what?
That was after the election, right?
After the election. For what? Then people are not informed of the issue because the outgoing president consistently gave them misinformation. People are comfortable with it. People are comfortable with it. And I tell you this, the issue of Pennsylvania is not only limited to Pennsylvania now. They, issue people that are really amplifying the chaos, the so-called chaos, the fabricated chaos that they are talking about. People that are advancing it are not basing in Pennsylvania. And the outgoing president is in collaboration with so many FEMUSians that they have reduced community leadership to. All right, people have reduced community leadership to believing in dishonesty. I swear to God, after October 17 election, every community leader that called me, every one of them say that, nobody congratulated me. All the community leaders that I'm what do you call it? The community leader from the various chapters, every one of them that spoke today, fabricated chaos. They said there was a chaos when the people come up with another election commission. You must go to election. Did I tell you that I just want to go to election to win, to be president? Is what I told you. I did not tell you that I want to be president. By all costs, I want to be president the right way. That is the reason why the voice of the people, no matter how many negotiations we're going to be going to, and how many peace talks we're going to have, the 57 people that voted, and more than were our mothers and imams. We're never going to neglect their vote. Whatever reconciliation we're going to do, going to be based on the voice of the people. I never see that in anywhere, in any civilized environment, that the Independent Election Commission will have an election, then somebody come and say, no, I don't agree. Then the majority of the people follow the person. It's not going to work. I never see it before, and I will not do it.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a position that I have also come to support, because at the end of the day, now, just for the record, there are people on here, I don't know, I'm reading comments here, and I've heard this before, because this is not the first time we've discussed LIMAP. I've heard people out of ignorance who have said, well, only 57 people voted. Hello? Give me a break. Soko Sako, the term that he just finished a year over ago, less than 25 people elected him. Less than 25. That's the record. Less than 25 people voted Soko Sako the last time they had election at 4 seasons. So if you got 57, that's almost 2 times over. I mean, at least one plus, way more than he had. Not to mention, you were on a post. You were on a white ballot. You really did not need, you didn't even need more than yourself.
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Do not even go far.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
All right. So Ansu is now on the ballot. Everybody that's supposed to vote for Ansu, majority of them stay home. They say as soon as being, even if that one person vote for being finna winning. Yeah. All right. My supporter, being supporter said, but the other guy is not in the race. Even if that one person vote for being finna winning. So the 57 people that you saw, the 57 people were man-tired. They are the one that say, even though Bien is well ballot, but I'm going to go demonstrate my constitutional requirement to show to the public that we plan election and that somebody must vote. So that's where the 57 came about. 57 is a very critical majority, because why? These are the heroes. That day was Little Cole in Philadelphia. The old man came from Northeast. They came from out of state. Out of Philadelphia to come and vote. The board members voted. You understand? And I'm not saying this in any way that when I said it, that would make my election valid, but it is a fact. It is a fact. People came and voted. They heard us. And the people always carry this misinformation that, even my vice president, my treasurer, and my secretary did not come out to vote. And they be speaking out of ignorance. The reason why we don't press on this issue, because we know very well that the vice president, the treasurer, and the secretary, they're all going to come. They're coming back. That's why we never emphasize on it. But if you wanted to speak on the issue, we will tell you exactly how it worked in Pennsylvania. If you can remember, 2015, Brother Amara S. Kamara served as VP to Musa Traoré. All right? He's supposed to be VP candidate to Musa Traoré on their team. But instead, Amara won as VP on Seku.
Yeah.
All right. So that will tell you that the people that put FEMUSA things together, it could be Constitution or it could be Garland. It was the same people that put Pennsylvania issue things them together, because you can see the ideas. In Pennsylvania, when you're registering to be president, vice president, secretary, or any position, you register on your own. If you want to be board member, you register on your own. So if you want to form a team, you form association of candidates.
Like-minded candidates.
You find association of candidates. If I find you that you register to be VP, and I know that we got the same vision, we can associate and we can market each other. We can sell to each other's supporter. So literally we become a team through association. But hey, the point here is, if we market you, We market one another. Then based on our affiliation, you are elected. It is left with you to neglect the people vote. Then you're responsible for creating your own legacy. You're not creating the team legacy, you're creating your own self legacy because we just did association of candidate. You independently register as a candidate. It is possible that the opponent, my opponent VP could be my VP, I mean that they participate in the election. So the board members, there's a brother, Mohammed Suare, he's a board member that won the election. He was from Ansel Camp. He was from Ansel Camp. Brother Sekou Jina won election. I mean, he's claimed to be neutral, but he won.
Right.
All right. Brother Farouk Kone attended all the functionality of the various candidate. He still won as a board member. So it doesn't mean when you become associated with, Bien Kamara, then the election happened, then you did not go to vote, but you still won, then you stay away, and then the people say, oh, even a vice president did not go to vote. No, the vice president know exactly, when he depending on, when it comes to building at the type of history you want to lead in his community. I got my own. So if we are certificated, and the vice president dishonor the certificate, then that gives the incoming leadership the responsibility to set up by-election and replace all the people that neglected their position. That's very simple. We don't see that as a challenge. We see that as a beautiful way of exercising leadership. It's not with the candidates or the elected vice president, the elected treasurer, and the secretary to officially inform the community that they have, rejected or they are neglected the people vote. But it is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to remain peaceful, unity driven, engage the community for everybody to work together, and that having our message. Even the president, read on Facebook, you saw we never say anything about it. When the president went on the Broad Talk show and attack, inflated insult, you did not see me saying anything because it's not part of my leadership style. I don't go for triviality. I don't go for little stuff. You can attack my personality. You can inflate insult. I don't go for small stuff. I go for the issue. And the issue here is you are going president. You say, you don't have any constitutional mandate. You plus the board, you don't have any constitutional mandate. You don't have any constitutional support. So why should you perpetually keep yourself in a corridor of power? If you don't want to create chaos, why should you spread misinformation? You supported the election all the way to the eve of the election, 3 days to the election. Then you get on a robocall that you customize only to your one. You get on a robocall and tell the community not to come to the election. And the president perpetually send a robocall almost 12 times during the election day for people to not come and vote. Ask the president why. Why he did that? He would tell you, say, I was not informed. So when you not informed, the election can be held.
But how was
you got 5,000 Manungo people living?
But how was he not informed when, in fact, he constituted the commission, and the commissioner indicated to him he wanted to resign, and he wrote the commissioner back asking him to stay. Something that was brought to our attention. The board, everyone was aware. Election date was announced after the postponement. So how was he not informed then?
The president, in a very in the last 2 weeks, the president have come up with 3 different statements. Number one, He's not informed. He was not informed. That's why he told everybody on the robocall, I'm not informed. Now, it was proven beyond all reasonable doubt that the president was informed. The election commission sent voter card to everybody's house. 1,250 community members received the voting card, including the president and the board members. And you saw the board members. If you don't have the voting card, you won't vote, except if your card is missing, then they use your number to identify you in a database, then you vote. But if you don't have the voting card, you won't vote. Sending voting card to people in the community, Mr. Nkrumah, it's not a one-day thing. It's not 2 days. It's a process. The president received his voting card, including everybody in the community. The election commission went and placarded the people that registered their names to 4 seasons for people to go and verify their name. The president is on record at 4 seasons telling people to come and identify their name and come and vote on October 17th. So that was being disproved that the president was informed. He just chose to create artificial chaos within the community. That's point one. Number two, the president said the election commission chairman resigned. I don't want to carry you back, but it is important that we make some emphasis on this thing. So when the issue is dying, it died naturally. Nobody will attribute it to us. The president said that the election commission chairman resigned. All right. According to Lima Board, Lima Constitution, the board is a supervisor to the president. All right. So the election commissioner chairman said that the president interfering with his work. All right. And it was clear the president was being caught canvassing with Brother Ansu Ducle everywhere. That is clear. Everybody knows that. So the election commission said the president interfering with their job. So because of that, they're gonna leave the process. They're gonna leave. And the board called him. The board said, no. When you resign, it will be a chaos in the community. Do not resign. Call the president. Come on, Mr. Nkrumah. Your supervisor cannot hire and you fire. That's a common sense. That's a common sense. And after the board told the man to reconsider his position, the outgoing president sent a man email addressing the man as a chairman of the commissioner. But the single paper that he got with him, putting it on Facebook, he can measure other related document to it. If he does that, that will not make his information genuine to a follower. So he will go around with the chairman resignation. But what happened after the resignation? He won't say anything over that. And guess what? Anything he said, the chairman of the board approved it, even at the detriment of the quorum of the board members. So the challenges are enormous.
So
with the help of some of you guys, we're not going to give up.
Thank you. Please don't give up. It sounds like you're not only gearing up to take over a broken community, but also financially, challenged community, thanks to quote unquote the corrupt practices of the outgoing administration. But very sad because, like you said, this is becoming way too common in our community organization or management. Everywhere we've gone, this is what we hear. The last time I had Brother Amara Sayante Kamara on the show, and then we were making the same old case about Kwadu Boni, the board, the president, and all the whole that. So, and this is mind-boggling, Brother Kamara. I got to tell you, because in this day and age, after all the education we have acquired, even after we've traveled to the world greatest seat of democracy, we are here. We see transparency. We see people from the higher up headed to prison for these kind of practices, and yet we're not learning from it. We continue to do business as usual and expecting different outcomes. I don't get it. But all I can do when it comes to accountability, honestly speaking, for the additional $5,000 that you just said was withdrawn, almost after the election. That's news to me. I did not know anything about that. I mean, I've heard about the $12,000, the 30% FEMUSA money that was given the whole 9 year, and then this one is added. I really hope that Brother Sarko can prove you wrong, not only by saying it is wrong, but by also bringing these alleged fundings, or funds forward. I'd be glad if he came out to, on a different show tomorrow to say, look.
Mr. Kromai, I don't want you to take my words. I'm gonna forward the other reports. These are not secret. These are not secret. I'm gonna forward the other report to you, and we may likely publish Lehman's other report for everybody to see. Now, the remaining balance that in amount, in the account was because if you got $18,000, then you use 12,000. Maybe you left with 6,000, and now you got zero.
Right.
So what happened to the 5,000?
So no, all I'm saying, no, I'm not disputing. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that for integrity's sake, that I hope Brother Sarko will be on the next talk show tomorrow to say, hey, the $5,000 I took it for whatever reason I wanted for safekeeping. Here's the check. Here's the cashier's check. I'm just what I mean.
Oh yeah, that's a reason exactly that we have not taken a major step on it, because right after the induction, this is gonna be the issue, because no matter how you're gonna misinform people, but gradually the truth will come out. All right, and even if we don't go after you, but people elected you, and they expect exactly what they elected you for to do. So if you want to go after 4 years and you got initial capital of 18,000, then after 4 years you cannot point at any project that was being approved by the board to be undertaken, and you live in power, and there's nothing like balance. If you we don't know if that's how you want to go, and you just want to go like that without any paperwork. Even if we allow you to go like that, you're not going to be comfortable. You got to make yourself available to some type of, financial accountability for the sake of your own legacy. Yeah, for the sake of your own legacy. So everything that we're saying here, we taking it directly from the other report.
Okay.
We are taking it directly from the other report. So, and the president have appeared almost. The president has appeared in almost recently. He appeared on almost 3 different shows, and the president will say everything. You will not mention finance. So, yeah, maybe it's not part of a plan.
So, here's I think we are fast running out of time, but we got a lot of other issues to cover here. So, in almost parting from this accountability audit report, there are a lot of things that come with it, because at the end of the day, those who believe and support or supported Sarko during his administration, during his tenure, I believe those are people that you're going to need on your side. You're going to need all Lima, all the Mandingo people in Pennsylvania that you can get to work with you. So, and now here you are. I've not listened to Sarko on the various shows other than the first time he appeared with Akeem. I listened to a little bit of that before my show with you, because before my show I had by myself the monologue. I wanted to get a little bit of his idea as to why he was thinking vis-a-vis your election. But apart from that, I've not listened to all the other shows that he's been on. So what exactly is he telling the people, and what do you really believe happened? Because he supported the whole election thing. He was telling people to go verify their names at the 4 season to make sure their addresses and names were accurate until 3 days to the election. What changed? What happened 3 days to the election? Did you say something to him that did you or the election commissioners did something that got him angry? And even so, he still wouldn't have the right to do so. But just for sake of what happened, what do you know happened 3 days to the election?
It was three days to the election that they called to incite Mr. Flavor Donzo. It was 3 days to the election. They called to incite Masai Laquin. It was 3 days to the election. They called, they incited Sonia Ali. It was 3 day election. They recruited all of them, and the call came from outside FEMUSA community. There is reason why the quote-unquote FEMUSA, you never see any of them congratulating legitimate leadership of Lima. You never see any of the chapter because they are in mood of conspiracy, saying that when Bien Camara become president of Lima, Bien not going to work with Tuma, which is very, very, very unfortunate on the side of most of the community leaders. It makes me very, 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 very ashamed of them.
Wait. Why would they assume that about you? Why would they assume that you're not supposed to? Have you done things? Have you said things that made them to believe that you're not support Tuma? You're not working. Why would they think so?
But before you ask that question, Mr. Krumah, is my function is to just become president and work with Tuma? Is that my function?
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
All right. So if that is not my function, why is it that got to be somebody concerned? And that's the mood that I'm getting from every one of them. Every one of them that called me and say that instead of saying congratulations to the people of Pennsylvania, they are there telling me that we should submit to whatever election the outgoing president will come up with. Is that how we're going to change the life of our people? Is that how we're going to maintain the struggle of people that died for Mandingo community? Is that how we're going to honor them? Is that how we're going to honor them? And that is why I'm going to tell you this. I am going to remain the president of Lima until next 2 years. I want for that to be clear. I'm not going to let this go for anybody. Okay. I'm not going to let this go for anybody. The voice of the people must be respected. Enough is enough. There's no level of propaganda. Let me say this. There's no level of propaganda going to make us to change our mind. The issue of Boninga and Konyaka not going to change our mind. Nobody is Mandingo than Bien Camara. Nobody is Mandingo than Bien Camara. And I want to make this one very clear. All right? It is not because your name is Abdul Aziz that make you to be Mandingo. It is your behavior. Yes. Your behavior that make you to be Mandingo. You know what I'm saying? I don't want for people to travel with misinformation. There's no chaos in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. There's no Mandingo, there's no Konyaka, there's no Boninga issue in Philadelphia. They are using it as a propaganda to download or to slow our operation. And we understood that a long time ago. It's not working for anybody. Philadelphia people, I lived here for 9 years. The only regret I had in Philadelphia recently is because one of my best friends lost his mother, and I never extended, my condolences out of, time shortage, and, sometimes people forget. That's the only regret. Other than that, everybody in Philadelphia know me to be Mandingo, not Konyaka or Boninga. I'm not going to fall for that. My spirit is too strong for that one. Right. I was elected as a president of Mandingo people. I don't know specific group. Anybody that classify themselves in that position, you enemy to Mandingo community, and God will not allow you to live to do that. You understand? Everybody that in Pennsylvania are Pennsylvania, people from Pennsylvania, and it is my responsibility. The God-given skill, God-given knowledge, God-given health that I get, I'm gonna make sure that I serve my people and serve them well. And I don't care about whatever propaganda people come up with.
Okay. Look, I mean, I can see you are very passionately expressed, that last segment there, and I gave you the time to do so because that was needed. You needed to get that off your chest. And as far as some of the things you just, enumerated, I can relate to them. I'm telling you, as far as people from other FEMUSA chapters trying to pressure you to do what they see best because of the clique that, some of them are put together. And if they don't see you as a fit for that, then they're going to go against you. I was president in Minnesota here. And you also know that former FEMUSA president who cannot live in Arizona today because I kick him out of Minnesota. He was one of Minnesota representatives on FEMUSA board. When I took over MMA presidency, they won. I said I wanted him gone. And I still got some letters here. I got letters from all the dead chapter leaders. The Kutubu, who was New Jersey at the time, everybody pleading for him to remain. I'm like, no, it's not going to be. So eventually, my uncle Vakaba Sese moved into Arizona and they sent him back to the board. That was fine by me. But I'm just saying to say, as far as the pressure on you from those guys, I get it. I can relate to that because I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through. Which brings me to the point that now that we mentioned the whole FEMUSA thing. So usually, because if FEMUSA is modeled over federation anywhere, whether it's the United States, federal authorities anywhere, you would think that when there's issue in any one chapter, any one state or chapter, it will be the federation prerogative to mediate, for the greater good of that chapter. So my question is, since the issue started unfolding in Pennsylvania, has any of these FEMUSA Tuma, FEMUSA Hawa, has any of them reached out to you on the positive note to see how these issues can be handled, how they can stop Soko from spreading lies, and how they can facilitate your transition? Have you heard from any of them?
To answer your question, no. We have heard the council lady, Madam Hawa Nkrumah-Konen. I think you saw her post on Facebook, congratulating us. You saw Brother Suleiman Jabate, and he's seemed to be the official president of Minnesota, according to you guys' constitution, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, according to you guys' constitution. So that is my issue. Right. That is my issue. I don't go by personalizing organizational activity. What the constitution say is what I go by. You understand? At the end of the day, it's gonna be the bottom line. Gonna be the Constitution, and this does not mean that the other guy is not a president because they said he is a president. But I'm saying that the president that the Constitution supports, you understand, and he recognized me. He recognized me. So if the one that people claim to be the right president does not recognize a constitutional, elected president, then that even gave me better position to believe that he's the right president. All right, and that same thing goes to Councilwoman Hawa. And I'm not saying this to say, if I say that my administration needs support from this person, no. My leadership is different. Even if that one person is going to support me, I still going to move on. I don't depend on much. Personal praise that I'm going to get from the community. I build my network with people that I think will help my community. All right? Yeah, that's how I do my leadership. I go outside. I go to state representative. I go to governors. I go to mayors. I go to community leaders that we work together to put the community together. You understand? I don't depend on squarely on FEMUSA and Madingo organization drama because we're not achieving anything.
No,
we are not achieving anything. We are the only group of people from West Africa that personalize everything. I'm sorry for the expression. Yeah. You understand? We are the only group that personalize everything. We don't make no progress. To explain one issue, it will take more than 3, 4, 5 months to explain one issue to young people before they understand that how we are positioned ourselves. You understand? If you look at the chart, if you look at the graph of Mandingos, or maybe the Mandingo from West Africa, or Africans from West Africa, or people from Liberia, if you look at the chart, we are the least. You think we don't know? We are the least because we don't even agree. That's the first thing. That's the first test of success. Unity. We don't agree. So am I going to depend on Tuma or depend on Hawa to do my work? No. The only thing we're going to do is to do the right thing. Whosoever thing that you're doing the right thing, you join us. And we are not object that you're going to take her and pull somewhere. Anybody want to use her, you come and use her. No. Those that, going in that route, you're making a mistake. All the people that are saying Bien is not operating by himself, he got people backing him, you turn it very wrong. I started my advocacy almost 25 years ago. People that know me from back in Liberia, yeah, they know me. I don't easily be manipulated. So get that away from the process. It's different from that. That even another propaganda, it cannot work. There's nobody pushing our agenda. We are a group of people that supporting our ideas. I call them strategists. And Brother Amran Kamara being part of their process, Brother Mohamed Kabar being part of their process, Brother Masiata Song, his name is Mohamed Sherry being part of the process, my brother Losini Kamara, Ansu Donzo. These are great men and women that believe that the way the community is operating, if we continue like that, we're not going to leave any legacy, and we don't have enough time. We got to act, and we must act now.
Let me digress a little. Let me digress a little bit, maybe so we can cool the temperature down a little, Mr. President. You're firing too much tonight, more power to you. You're firing a lot, but let's digress a little. So the last time you were here before the election, we briefly discussed your platform. And it seems to me that whatever that platform was at that time, you're going to need to do some work on it now because it looks like you got, additional challenges now. One, you're coming to power now without much funding to do any project. You have to come and raise your own money, it looks like. You also coming to power at the time, whether you agree or not, at the time when your community is somehow divided, because there are people who believe in Sako who continue to believe it. That's how Mandingo community works. Everybody take their own little chunk out of it. There are people who will continue to make his boogers clean. No matter how right you are, they will still believe in however wrong he is. So those people will be there. And for someone who comes to community leadership with clean hand, clean mind, someone who wants to see a unified community. So let me ask you, give me your first 5 immediate things after your inauguration in terms of moving this community forward. What's the first 5 things you plan to work on?
Number one, we wanted to embark on was the Adika issue.
Okay.
If you can remember, our agenda, that's what the Adika issue was, our agenda item. Even when quote unquote Femusa started, Adika issue, it was part of my agenda item. Adika was number 1. And the reason why I chose Adika was very simple. The reason why the committee came up with the Adika issue, people will tell you, say, we got 5,000, 6,000 Mandingo people in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, but nobody exactly know. When I ask them, where you take the figure from? You understand? So we say, okay, you know what? Let us look at the census report, the demographic that, Southwest Philadelphia, let us look at that. But if you look at that, you're not going to get the real data that you want.
Right.
So I say, you know what? Let's set a committee, with skillful people to know exactly how many, family help we got in Philadelphia, including children. Let us know. It is very important. It will lay the foundation of settlement. It will establish our settlement in Philadelphia. People will be proud of us. We can submit that information to the city council of any township. We can go to Lansdowne, we can go to Darby, we can go to Collingdale, we can go to other counties, we can go to other cities, and show that demographic anywhere we'll be able to get funding. So there where the idea of Adika was coming. But then, we noticed that Brother Mohammed Donzo, operating under Madame Tuma, embarked on that Adika issue. So when they did that, well, the majority of the people that they got registered came from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
All right, came from Pennsylvania. So that's going to be an issue because you cannot give majority of my, people, and they are not benefiting anything from the Adika revenue. And those Adika are going to be, subject to update. So the amount that they're going to be paying to you, how do we going to get share of that? So we got to talk about that. A percentage of that going to come to Pennsylvania, then we can honor it. If not, then we got to go back to drawing board. That's very clear. You understand? And number two, we were looking at a halt. We need a halt for our people.
To acquire a hall for the community?
To acquire hall. When I say hall, a place that we will go and gather.
Right. There
a place that we will go, if possible. Yeah. We can get a portion that we will settle our own, children center. Like children go there for refreshment, if possible, for daycare. Now, whatever curriculum we're going to have over there, we can integrate it with our traditional values. We can integrate it with, our nephew, uncle, for the children to be able to learn our culture. So if we acquire the hall, these are the things that we're going to be working on. And we wanted to come up with educational support for the young people. You will understand that the children will go to school. By the time they reach into a level of 12th grade, between 9, 10, and then 12, you see a lot of children. There's a record that most of our kids are on the street. You understand? So if you get children support from the community, wherein you will be appreciating those are doing well, and those are being challenged, you support them. If we are, are able to get something like that, that will reduce the number of children that will be distracted to go on the street. You understand? So we are looking at that. We're also looking at the old folks. Philadelphia got a lot of old people. Our mothers are getting old.
You also looking at what?
The old folks, like
old folks, okay.
Our mothers, especially our mothers. You will notice that majority of the mothers that came here, they are not that skillful. Like, so when they reach a certain age level, it becomes very challenging for them to get, income. So what we want to do, send them embedded with our tradition, we can target single mother. We can come up with a program where, the mother will come and sign on in a week and go spend 1 or 2 hours to one of the single mom house. So the single mom can go do laundry. The single mom can go buy, grocery. The single mom can take a nap while the old mother is there taking care of the baby and treating the baby our culture. So with that, if you maintain that system, the children are going to have something to hold on. So the Mandingo value not just going to be limited to our generation. We will be able to leave something here that will be called Mandingo. So these are the community, community integrational program that we are talking about. If at all we get a support from the community and the network that we are talking about. So we got so many other beautiful things that we're gonna work on, but mainly our focus on the ID. So since that have been started by some group, now we're gonna call them to table to talk about it. If not, we have to restart the whole process. But something that we must achieve within a 2 year would be a community hall.
Okay.
That way, we can't afford to be without getting that.
Right. RD car, community hall, educational support, old folks / our mothers.
Yeah, traditional support. Yeah.
RD cars, I'm not too sure about that. Hall sounds like a very, very lauded project. I mean, this is something that if there was a FEMUSA, and I mean FEMUSA in the true sense that we had in time past, that would be a project that you could definitely collaborate, work on together jointly, a hall, because every time there's event in Philadelphia, we spend lots of money, renting halls, for different events. So it could be both a revenue hub at the same time, accommodating your own event. So those sound like a great project. My only disappointment though, so you listed 4 out of 5, but I didn't hear you mention unity as one of your first priorities, considering that you come in take over, you come in at the time your people now all are united. So when does unity come in?
What are we going to be uniting on?
Madingo unity, it doesn't have. Sometimes it's just purely a pure lip service. You have to reach out to people.
Like somebody the same thing. Somebody said, we're going to send you guys a letter to talk about reconciliation. Yes, to talk about reconciliation. So what are we going to reconcile on? What are we going to reconcile on? To tell people that they might accept the election result?
No, to tell people that whatever information, like you just like what you started here tonight, that LIMAP is greater than all of us individual, or collectively. LIMAP is the one organization, one of the oldest Madingo organization in the country. The one that most of the other chapters look forward to giving your numerical power in Pennsylvania. So whatever you heard it wrong. You just stated the correct information, I hope so, tonight. And so let's work together. There's power in number. You know that, right? The more people you got to work with you, the easier some of these issues. Yeah.
Mr. Kromah, the reason why I'm feeling reluctant to respond to that is that is the very first thing that we done within the last 21 days.
Okay.
Right after the election, we went after our people.
Okay.
We told them we acknowledge the bravery, we acknowledge the patience, we acknowledge the support, we acknowledge the teamwork, and we urge those that disagree to put community first.
Okay.
You understand? We did that. We done that. We done it in every means. So the challenge remain though. The challenge remain though. The community, for all of us to work in the interest of the community, that's not unity. That's not the unity. Unity is like somebody, have some type of issue with you, and the election go on, and another person can say, "Oh, my man, I disagree with the result."
Yeah.
I disagree with the result. Then say, "Oh no, let's go to reconciliation." Or somebody say, "Oh, I was cheated." Okay. Now, but wherein the election was free, fair, there's no protest, there's no something to be united on. We are united. We're just going to remind one another to re-energize one another to do our job faster. It's what we're going to do.
So, maybe you could be right about that, because I realized too that as Madingo people and as someone who's older than you, obviously, I've been around, I've been a member of the community, before you, since I was born before you. I realized that sometimes our people are result driven. Some people sit back and think, oh, nothing's going to happen. But when they see things happening, then they're ready to be a part. They come and jump in. Some people are just like that. They associate with success. They will challenge you. You can't do this. You will never amount to that. You will never do this. But once they see you doing it and doing it well, then they want to be a part. They come and join in. So maybe you read about that. So let's, if you don't mind, I'm going to open up the phone line as we discuss. Sometimes time is not that much on our side. I want to let us know that the lines are open now. If you look on the screen right before my name, there's a number you can call, 612-481-5130. The number is also rolling down the bottom. If you can see that, with President Bian Kamara's name and the number after that, the number to call, 612-481-5130. Now, if you want to call using WhatsApp, you can call that same number. You just have to add +1, right? I think that's what it is. +1 612-481-5130. So feel free to call us and jump in, participate. Give us your thought, question, comment, or concern. Here comes the first call. Let's take this call, President Kamara.
7-2.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Kumar. This is Baba Ture calling from Minnesota.
Welcome. Thank you, Mr. Ture. Welcome to LDF. Your question, comment, or concern for President-elect.
Thank you very much. I want to take this time to extend my thanks and appreciation to the brother is still the Honorable President-elect, Honorable Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for clarifying a lot of stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to comment on two things.
Okay.
One is we need to rely on history in this community to put people into power.
Okay.
If we all remember in 2015, Mr. Sako, Abubakar Suko Sako, was the Secretary General of FEMUSA before the 2015 election. And after the election, when we were in Arizona to inaugurate Mr. Sekou Kene, Abubakar Sidiki Soko Sako was sending robot call saying that this man was not president and there was no inauguration. It's the same thing that happened again. The man is sending robot call again, doing the same thing. History is repeating itself here.
Okay.
This guy, anytime he's in power, to release the power is hard. He has done it with FEMUSA.
Okay.
Now he's doing it with Limaka.
Okay. All right.
So I think moving forward, we need to look at those things.
Okay.
Before electing some of those guys, we need to look at situations that we experienced before in the past.
Okay.
Abubakar has done this before.
Okay. Thank you. We'll take another call. Good evening. Your name, where you call from, question, comment, or concern for the president-elect.
Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Amara Alhaji Vankama Fofana, calling you from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
To be specific, Philadelphia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Your question, comment, or concern.
I have a both.
Okay.
But I have a concern first.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Kamfuba Kroma, I would like to tell you thank you very much for hosting our president-elect this beautiful evening of Thursday. The problem here is more than Bian Kamara. If anybody thinks this is only for Bian Kamara, you are doing it for yourself. Ada is following right now on your show. I am one of the election commissioners from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I can assure you that every single aspect we did in the election process, Abu Sako and the leadership and the board are aware of it. But the conspiracy in this matter is too much. Have you ever heard any of those so-called talk shows saying that they were going to interview the both parties? If something happens, you want to get a fact, interview the both parties. But they only interview one side only because they want the one side truth, and they don't want to silence and fire those people. You understand?
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. And number two, the very day, about 3 days to election, this man went and made a hatred call against Bian Kamara, only for the people to not turn up. Abu Sako did that. Abu Sako, I am not AB Fofana. I was one of the first person that resigned from the board. When I came for vacation, Abu Sako and Ismail Donzo, the owner of Four Seasons, and brother Ducre, they called me. They went to the meeting. They said, we have reinstated you at Four Seasons. Abu Sako was in that meeting. And they all sat and they said they are not aware of it. Besides that, we have a communication, the factual communication between Abu Sako and the board about this election. But you know why they don't want to accept Bian? Let me tell you the truth. I'm so sorry to say this. It's because they don't want for Boninghat to be the leader. I'm telling you the truth. And that's the fight. Besides that, there's no other reason why they don't want Bian. Because the legitimacy of Bian is glaring. You gave all the constitution. You gave all the guidelines for us to follow. We follow the guidelines. I, Amra A.B. Fofana, was called in many occasions to lie, to change my way, to go against their will. I said, to go on their will. I said, I'm not doing it. Angala, I want to tell you that if I ever lie on this thing, God should punish me here and hereafter.
Okay.
But I challenge Abu Sako. I challenge any of those people that say that to say the election Sako was not aware of it.
Okay.
I challenge anybody.
Okay.
But you know why?
Yeah.
That if you see somebody running from here and there, because Abu Sako felt indicted, so you have to go. He has to run from Tulsa to make himself well known, to make himself to feel like he's a victim in the game. No, Mr. Sako, stop misleading the people. We understand you think like you got people in Femusa today that will betray, that will break Bian's hands and pull his back and take it from him. But I can tell you for sure, Bian is a legitimate president. Bian is our legitimate president. They just have to agree to it because the legal process was done.
Okay, thank you. But I'm gonna leave it.
Legal processes were done.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Fofana. Yeah. You want to wrap up? You done, right?
Yeah. I want to wrap up.
Okay.
To wrap up this evening, I would like to tell Mr. Bian Kamara, please have the courage to stand for this fight. Do not give up for no reason. You did not steal the presidency. You did not steal the presidency of Lima. We won 2 elections. And people that are saying that 53 people voted, yeah, it is true. But in the democratic process, one person is eligible to make you a president.
Yes.
Even if there are thousands of people. But once it's one person that legally votes, even if 1 million people vote, if everything went invalid, but the one person that will be valid can make you a president. So get the courage to say you are illegal. I mean, you are legally elected. So there should be nothing to make you afraid, and don't give up the fight. And the imam that are in the mosque preaching that we should say the truth, we should do it for the God, so we should say the truth, we should not cheat. What are they doing now? Are they closing their mouth on the truth? They're seeing the truth in the community because the legal process was being held, and they don't want to support it. They're saying not looking at it.
Okay.
Our imam, they need to wake up.
Thank you.
Our elders, they need to wake up.
Thank you.
You're telling us that you are one-sided. I am not saying it. If you want to kill me, you can kill me for the sake of the truth, and I will die and rest in peace.
Right.
That's to say, yeah, I'll say the truth, and that's what they kill me for. But I will not agree for people to see the truth and deny it in that sense because they feel like they get the power to do so. So this evening, I have never been on too many talk shows because I know for sure that what they are saying is just rhetoric. You just want to run from here and there to just make it say, well, feel better. But just for, to come and make some clarity as to why Bian claimed the presidency to be a legal president of Lima is that. And we have all the legitimate documents to everything.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. I gotta go now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So I feel really bad because you saw how I rushed Baba off the line just to accommodate the next cause, and this guy is. Well, anyway, so President Baba, he's that citizen on the platform. So feel free to call back, Baba, if you want to make up your time. And for those of you who been calling, obviously we got one phone line. This is not like Prime FM or Freedom FM where we have different phone lines. So when you call on this line, the only way I can take your call is if I put the person on call on hold, which will not look respectful. So if you call. I didn't take your call. That means somebody else is on the line. So just call back. Otherwise, we don't mind. We'll call you back too. But I'm going to let the president speak to the 2 calls that came And then in the meantime, we are still taking calls. If you have any question, comment, or concern, by all means, please call 612-481-5130. Question, comment, or concern, we are accommodating all of it. It's about time you participate. Don't just be a listener, be a participant. These issues concern all of us because we are all Mandingo, regardless of where you live. We don't live in Philadelphia. We got families living there. I got brothers there. I got my uncle there. Got my brother, Mr. Dollar there, my brother-in-law. So, when the thing that affects one of us in one chapter affects all of us in all other chapters. That's how I look at it. So I hear people when I posted BN's appearance on my platform today, I've taken some phone calls too. There are people who didn't want me to host it. You even saw the comment. They post somebody went there, one of my own picking from Liberia. I don't want to give you any more relevance. They talking about I'm doing this service to the people of Pennsylvania. Somebody call me a traitor. But I'm used to that. Those things don't bother me. Absolutely don't bother me. I think everyone knows that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this business still. But people call me personally and say, don't do this. Don't host it. The calls were good. The only thing that were not good, they didn't have any reason as to why I should not host you. Why should I? They can't give me any reason. So, but anyway, also go ahead, my brother. Yeah.
That's one of the things I told you when I
the line's not good.
It's like I'm repeating myself, right?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Better now,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, getting better, yeah.
But I'm still getting a feedback though.
Are you?
Yeah,
okay,
my voice keep repeating itself.
Okay, hold on, let me do something here. Hold on. Okay, try now. Is it better?
All right, much better now. No, it's still repeating. But let me just go ahead and
Yeah.
So the point I was trying to make, I made a video and put on Facebook. And this is not in any way trying to give anybody prominent yet. But there's a brother called Keita, one single Keita.
Yeah.
He claimed to be, I don't know, well, quote unquote, ambassador for Musa.
Okay.
He came on my post, writing derogatory statement. And also you saw my old friend and brother, Ajabate, he made himself vulnerable to the outgoing president to be used as illegal appointed election commission.
Mm-hmm.
It was after almost all along the brother Alpha Jabate and brother Keita, they don't know that they were representing quote unquote federal government.
Mm-hmm.
People got to remind them still, oh man, you VP for Musa, so you cannot do it because of conflict of interest. You would say, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. But all these people, the brother been doing it. Brother Alpha Jabate served as delegate of Lima to quote unquote Musa function. So he didn't realize that that's a conflict of interest. When after a legitimate election, that the outgoing president, who does not have any constitutional backing to appoint you to be election commission, then you accept it, and you later, oh no, I can't continue because of conflict of interest. You've been doing that ever since. You've been doing conflict of interest. So it kind of like led me to feel that people just get into community leadership, but we don't actually want to get in it. We just want to be there. Nobody from Musa, nobody from any of Mandingo organization have come to us to say what happened. Why we, election was being postponed after people took off on their job for almost like 3 months. then you automatically postpone the election. If you get good federal leadership, they will come up with some type of critical inquiry.
Yes.
It's what they call leadership.
That's what I asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can know that BN is not supporting you or BN is supporting you. You stay because BN. You stay kind of like control your ego.
In fact, that's how he will support you. When you show that leadership,
yes,
they leave being no alternative but to work with you.
Which subject Mr. VP, or Mr. President-elect. Yeah, I want to have tete-a-tete with you. I want to talk to you as Femusa this, Femusa that. Sekou Keita, I will call BN Kamara, but what's going on? Congratulations, first of all. But we yende. Tuma, Hawa, you understand? You call people instead of you passing messenger to come and approach us. And we have graduated from the level where somebody will come on Facebook or on our phone to mesmerize people to derail the direction. We have graduated from that level. You not made any research on us? You should have made research on me before you would come with me with that type of group approaches. Go to election after legal election. Why going there for? I just want to be president. I don't want to just be president. I want to be president. Well, I want to be president the right way.
Okay.
And the right way is the Independent Election Commission that was confirmed by the organization of board members, the board director. They came up with the election and they announced that BN Kamara is the winner. What is the big deal to accept the fact and move on? If you want to protect your legacy, so you say, accept the move on. It is left with the people to decide what to do. And so I must commend the two callers, Brother Baba and Fofana, for the compliment. And like I said, we're not going to.
Okay, we'll take another call here. Brother Frank Sano is calling. Let's take a call.
8-1.
Good evening, Brother Frank Sano from Pennsylvania, where the seat of the situation, the issue being discussed. Welcome to LDF. Your question, comment, or concern?
Thank you very much. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Kafumba Kuma, as usual. This is very fascinating. But I'm touched tonight. I'm moved. The president-elect spoke well.
He did.
And I just want to assure him and the community members that we are fully supporting the October 17, 2021 election result.
Okay.
And majority of the board members are completely supporting this result. So I like his stand, and that's the only way this community can move forward. You know, Kafumba, we got a group of people in this community that believe in spreading lies. And they use these lies they spread to correct the lies. And the more they do it, the more they become vulnerable. We must have some people in the community that will say, look, enough is enough, and this has to stop this way. And so, President Binya, you can rest assured the board majority of the board members are fully in support of the October 17, 2021 election, and you have no reason to waver. Continue to remain on your stand. Lima will be united behind you and will support your aspiration and vision. And just coming to the issue of election commissioners being appointed, it's very funny. You know, I was invited, but I did not go because I should know better. Kafumba, I've been on Lima board. I've been on Femusa board. So I take my own time and read the Constitution over and again and understand what the writers or the authors of the Constitution had said. The Election Commission position is a terminal position in Lima and in Formosa. Most people don't understand that. Is that what we mean by terminal? The terminal position, you got specific amount of years as Election Commission to be member of that commission. When those years elapse, whoever is in charge, the president make his appointment and the board confirm them. And once they are confirmed, they are not subject to anybody. The board don't interfere in their operation. The board don't dictate to them. The president don't dictate to them. The only thing they uphold is the Constitution and their term of reference. If the election commissioners even decide to say, look, you know what, we notify the board that we're coming to conduct our election, that is done out of respect. But they don't necessarily have to seek the board permission. Neither do they seek the president's permission for the president to tell them, no, they have the Constitution, and the Constitution spells out when the election should be held. Much more in our situation when the election, the time has elapsed over and again. And you know, I listened to the president, elect Honorable Benya Kamara. He blamed the board, and he's right. We made some terrible mistakes, and we have to take responsibility of what the role we played. But this role was played, somebody manipulated the chairman of the board, because most of the communication, they were not sharing it with us. And Kafumba is a sad situation. You know, we go to meeting, we agreed, and you know, the way Lima Constitution is, you have it, the president is the secretary of the board. We go to the meeting and meet issues that we're supposed to discuss for 30 minutes. We'll be there for 3, 4, 5 hours discussing it. And at the end, we just leave like that, and the chairman will say, oh, you know what, we need to rediscuss this. All because we tie the discussion around the finances, and the president don't want to hear that. And the board chairman supports him 100%. That is the sad story in our community. That people with personalized issues, people will support people not on the basis of truth, but on the basis of friendship. That is what is killing us. But you know what? With you, Kafumba, in our community, with few of you brothers in Minnesota there, the likes of Obi and Dolan, that want to stand for the truth, and on this side, we are trying, and Benya has spoken well tonight, the president, because most people were skeptical whether he would be framed. Most people thought he would wave, but with the surety he has given tonight, his community is fired up, his supporters are fired up, and we have more people supporting the result than you can ever imagine. So we just want you to go ahead, plan your inauguration, work on it. We will be there by the help of Allah, and we will support it fully. Don't worry about the finances. Allah, with the help of Allah, the engagement, we do that. And another thing, Mr. President, you don't need to engage any stakeholders to go after Lima finances. The Constitution gives you that authority. You cannot shift that responsibility to another group. You have to lead it, and we will support you, because the community money is the community money, and the Constitution made it very clear that people who eat community money, they should be prosecuted. If that is what we will do, we will support you to do that. We don't have to base this on friendship. We don't have to base this on our relationship with people. We have to support what the Constitution says and stand by the Constitution, irrespective of who is involved. It could be me, Frank Steinhardt, put it in thing. You know, that's what I believe in. People, I told somebody, people call me, a lot of people call me and say, Frank Steinhardt, why are you every time that you involved in the trouble thing? I said, what is the trouble thing? Thank you. And the person told me, say, oh, you know why I'm alone? I don't want to ask this question among people. You'll be embarrassed. I said, no, you asked the question the wrong time. I would love for you to go to the mass viewing. Everybody there, I bring the issue up. Because I say, you know why? I support the truth. That's all. And that's why we have to continue to do, Brother Kafumba.
Okay.
And thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. I was looking forward to it. That's just one call I was expecting before we called it a night. But as always, it's a pleasure to have your opinion because when you speak, you leave the rest of us speechless. Thank you. Let's have a good night. We're not done. So, Mr. President, what have you to say after to that comment, rather?
Well, I mean, like,
hold on. Let's add one more call to that. Let's add one. Hold on. Let's add one more call to that. Just hold on to Bro Frank Sano's point. Good evening. Your name, where you come from? Hello?
Kamara.
Hello? Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hello. My name is Bill Santos Kamara, calling from the state of Newark, New Jersey.
Hey, the Envoy. Welcome to the show. Honorable Envoy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to you and the platform and the listener, the callers, and the president-elect, Honorable Bian Kamara. If I take it clear, I just want to say that the community is on a new trajectory. It's a pure renaissance, and you will not find the majority of people moving towards the rebirth of a community. You're going to find a committed, elite group of people. When I say elite, it doesn't mean that they supersede the power, but they are committed and sincere and passionately about the new form of leadership that we want to take to our people. So Honorable Kamara happens to be one of the great illustrious sons of our community who have served beyond boundaries, who intellectual capacity and tenacious feeling for community empowerment has brought Lima to a place where it is today. If you see most of the successes during Sako's administration, it was not done as a nightmare. It was done with the collaboration and coordination with he and his VP present being everywhere. So in the histories of leadership, you can now tell that Pan-Africanism is a dear philosophy. Progressivism is just there. The idea is not even in contemporary politics anymore. That a VP that has served a president succeeding terms over terms and it lasts, the VP unconditional commitment remains to the president. When the ascendancy comes where the VP is now taking power, then the president becomes in opposition to his VP. That is just in the African community. That's not nowhere in the Western world where we live today. That we saw Barack Obama campaigning for Joe Biden, even Hillary Clinton campaigning for Joe Biden. So a Sako campaigning for Bian Kamara was like bringing the entire FEMUSA community to a unified front to see that the president now is campaigning for his vice president. That would have been one of the legacies set by President Sako. But to see that such thing is happening, and it's not only happening in Lima, it is happening almost everywhere in every chapter. But again, Mr. Kamara, this is the test to leadership. And I can tell you from the school of leadership, men must lead by example. Leader must lead from the back. Leader must have the courage. Leader must encourage others to lead. And leader must lead in difficult times where the people are in need of you. Leaders must lead according to the Constitution, the organic law. So in as much that the organic law protects you, where the Independent Election Commission had an election and people turn out to vote, that means that even the commission exercise an autonomous authority in consonance with the Constitution of Lima. So you are the legitimate president. We are with you.
Thank you.
We know the political chicanery is carried by the president. But unfortunately, I would tell the All-Abraham Coalition Party that the chairman of the party in the diaspora has been indicted for $12,000 US in a community activity. So if the party can now still have somebody who's indicted of the community elections and still have him as the chairman, then I can tell that APO is not going anywhere. So the president must recuse himself from this corruption Other than that, none of us in the diaspora were John Apple. None of us were John Apple. In as much as these little community elections, how do you bring the proliferations of Mandingo in the diaspora together now? If you are the chairman of ACO, you're talking about Buninga, you're talking about Kwanyaka, you're talking about Maninka. This is the BN Kamara. And the issue why Lima was founded that way, it was because they wanted to bring every side together so that tomorrow we can have a unified front line. How do we see it? It's so sad, it's pathetic. It brings tears to my eyes to see today BN Kamara is struggling in Philadelphia for his people, struggling in Philadelphia to get recognition, struggling in Philadelphia to lead his people with a non-paid job, only to service his people through volunteerism, an act of altruistic work for you to lead. BN Kamara is strangulated now. The president has gone to withdraw 5,000 from the bank. No one in the community is now standing for the truth. To say, Sako, what you are doing is wrong. But they are forming themselves to break down the structure just because someone has issue with the Federation chapter. Does that have something to do with being legacy, being leadership in the Constitution of Lima? There's nothing in the Constitution of Lima says that the president must support president of chapters. We've seen that everywhere, that some presidents have never supported chapter the FEMUSA leadership. They remain independent and succeeded in their own domain. Why at this time, a BN Kamara will be struggling in Philadelphia? But the struggle will continue. If this would be the case that every community will face, I can tell you that we remain firm and stand by BN, and the BN will succeed in Philadelphia, and he will unite the people in this community.
Okay.
I want to say, Mr. Kamara, our prayer with you. Assalamu alaikum. Let's see the foul mass of our community.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. Thank you. All right. Well, that makes it two. Brother Frank Sarno and Brother Bakeland Touch. So go ahead if you want to speak to the two callers. Maybe before we get another call, and otherwise we can find time to wrap up. So go ahead.
Well, these are great men of our community. Mr. Frank Sarno, always some people calling custodian of Mandingo Constitution. It doesn't take anything that had to do with a body by law, not just Mandingo community, but Liberian community. Honorable Frank will make sure that the right things are done. And the same with my brother, Bill Pintos. You know, sometimes, like you said, it's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. When people look at how history gets in Philadelphia, I never go out there one day and I see anybody that disagree with the election. Nobody. Why would I say though? The people are afraid of one another. We are intermarried. We are uncles. We are aunties. All right. So my uncle don't like Sako. Then my uncle said, "Oh man, I don't like Sako." Then automatically, I hate Sako. You understand? So is that a good way to live? No. But it happened. It's what happened. But to say that the chaos in Philadelphia, people don't support us, no. I go everywhere, people engage me. I mean, people engage me, and Mr. President, you like. Mr. President, what will be the inauguration? It's few people that have been successful, misinforming consistently. And they are among the young people, and they are among the folks. Let me tell you this. If you get a baboon behind your house, every night, you know, you're banging the baboon stick behind your house, causing heavy noise, you know, as time goes, gradually they start getting used to that noise. It's not because you like noise in your ear, but it's a thing that happens in your ear all the time. You get comfortable with it. So, you know, consistently informing people with misinformation, and people have been comfortable with it, and it's very, very necessary or difficult to understand the fact. Even if you get them in a blueprint, you understand. So these are the challenges we're going to face. It's going to take a little while for people to really understand what true leadership is. And we are kind of like looking at that as a foundation of not personalizing leadership in the community. It's going to be collective efforts. It's going to be very, 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 very team oriented. And nobody in the community is going to be left out, except you or she chooses that way.
Okay, so we'll take a call. Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll take a call. So can you tell us your name, where you call from, question, comment, or concern?
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, Mr. Proma and Mr. Kamara.
My name is Hassan Donzo.
Calling from the state of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Okay, Hassan Donzo from Philadelphia. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, Mr. Proma, thank you again for having me. I just want to just send few information out there to your guests in the studio, our Vice President, Mr. B.N. Kamara, and also the entire listener. So Philadelphia, I've been in Philadelphia for quite a while now. I've been here for over almost 10 years in Philadelphia, and this is a state that I enjoy so much, and there's a lot of things that happen here in terms of unity. Mr. Kamara, he's been a very intelligent and a hardworking young man in our community. Despite people have disagreement with things, but he's been a community servant. I can admit that. Saying about politics, we got differences. People will agree to disagree. And not all that I agree with, or not all that I agree with you are with you, and not all that disagree with you are not with you. So the gun election that it just happened, the presidential elections that we all participated, that was suspended, we were all frustrated because many of us spend our resources, our time into the elections. And then it came a time, things were stopped. The election commission came up, they said, okay, election is stopped, so until otherwise order. So that was said. And we in Philadelphia, we were questioning what is going on, what happened. So there was some rumors coming up, some people been disqualified for certain things and all the kind of things, but there was no formal communication from the election commission, nor from the president office, neither from the board of directors, or from the Lima board. There was no communication coming from there. So we were just there. That was just rumors hearing outside. But we were still waiting to hear what was the main cause. Because after we were assured that we're going to have elections, we campaigned, we raised money, spend our time and energy. So to just stop that, many of us was frustrated. But there was no reason given to us. But being us united, being us, in a community that we want to serve as an example to the others, so we stay wait and see what would be the best time that we can have a formal communication from the election commission. We saw a letter from some of the election commission. We saw a letter from the chairman of the election commission, Mr. Kalfala Donzo. He sent a communication to the president that he had resigned. So, and also the secretary of the commission, which was Amara A.B. Fofana, sent another communication public on Facebook. We all saw that he resigned, and he listed certain information concerning about some people being accused of certain things, So there was a lot of things going on. So we're like, but then what is happening? Why is it that our election is paused and then, and these people coming out to resign? What is happening? So we kind of, things happen that way, trying to talk to the president. The president said he's going to replace those people then to continue the job. And according to information that we had, I think the board trying to plead with the ongoing or the outgoing election commission, which really happen to be Mr. Kampala Donzo, to come in and conduct the election. But coming back again, he has to do a format, because according to our Illinois Constitution, that we read here says that the president appoint the election commission, and then it's approved by the board. So the president came out and were new appointees that these are the people that will conduct the election. And now the people that resigned, people that resigned, they started sending another communications that there will be
Mr. Donzo?
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate your input, but I think you're kind of taking us backward in the sense that I think we've already addressed that issue, and not to mention, I have a video of the Election Commission Chairman, Mr. Donzo, a video that I played two, three times already, in which he explained that he had 2 letters in the send. He did resign. He's not denying that fact, but he has another letter written by Sarko, I think 4 or 5 days later, asking him to remain, and the board affirmed that decision, which is why he did not turn over any of the money that he had in his possession or materials. So we've already dealt with that. So for our audience sake, we've listened to that time and again, so it's taking us backward and we are running out of time. If you got a new lead to follow, please do. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
Okay. So my issue is this. I just want to, because we have people in our midst, and I will specifically point out to some elders that we have. Yeah. One was the previous caller. One is Frank Sano.
Okay.
Frank Sano actually is always in a hard spot.
Okay.
Of many chaos that is going on.
Okay.
In our community, being Lima, being Kwama, or being Temusa. So, and if you having yourself be supported with those kind of people there, I don't think it's a good lead. And then to my friend and brother, being Kamara, you have your team, and members of your team resign. They did not support the idea that you are preaching. They did not work with you. So that should technically signal you to say that what I'm doing, actually, I'm not doing it for the community.
Okay.
I don't think being one of root of community, the way it's divided right now.
Okay.
So I think being has to do a format.
Okay.
And then we work together and make the community move better. But if you keep listening to all these people and giving all the kind of encouraging message, you're just making yourself look somehow.
Let's hear what Bien has to say. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Okay, Bien, hold on 1 second here. I put someone on hold. Let's take that call, and then hopefully we can just stop the call and finish our conversation, because we've been here over an hour or 2 now.
1, 2.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Your name, where you call from? Question, comment, or concern for Mr. Kamara?
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumba. This is Mamadi Kaba calling from Philadelphia.
Okay, Mr. Kaba. Thank you for the call. Welcome to the show. What's your question, comment, or concern?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for giving me the chance tonight to be on the show. Mm-hmm. I just want to commend the president-elect, Mr. Binye Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Taken by him.
Okay.
I mean, in a community, you expect things like this to go on. Mm-hmm. But to be very frank, our elders in the community today, they make some of us to feel very much part of them. Mm-hmm. Because when you are elder in a community and you sit, you are seeing the way things are going in the community. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you as an elder, I think it would be binding on you people to bring peace among the people in the community. Mm-hmm. But with the case we are in today, I don't think our community leaders are willing to, our community elders are willing to do that. Mm-hmm. Because since this election took place, up to now, we have not heard about any elders calling any meeting. Mm-hmm. Getting it? They all sitting down until when they see the community is being divided already before they come in, mm-hmm. to say, the elders want to meet you or this and that. Mm-hmm. You getting it? But to be very frank, mm-hmm. Rakafumba, our president, our outgoing president, mm-hmm. Rasako, need
to apologize to this community.
Okay.
To be very, very frank with you, because the last time he was on Moses show, and he said the election commissioner had resigned, and he brought the letter the election commissioner wrote him, but he failed to bring the letter he wrote to the election commissioner, which the board a friend to. The board approved that letter by calling the election commissioner, ordering them to remain to conduct the election. He fails to bring that letter to the community, so which means he was hiding something, trying to bring another one in order to make himself look very good in a community where it was not like that. You can't be making yourself good in a community while you spoil another man's character. He needs to come and apologize to the community. Also apologize to Mr. Brad Donzo, the election commissioner. To be very frank.
Yeah.
And to all my Akopians, both in Liberia and in the diaspora, mainly in America, I'm a full-fledged member of ACO. And I'm going to make sure we communicate this information to the leadership back home. We can be part of organization that our chairman cannot obey laws of any organization. Mile, he served as president, outgoing president now. He fails to abide by the constitution of Lima. I mean, there is no democracy in the world.
Mr. Cabal.
They're going for election.
Mr. Cabal.
Yes, sir.
Just to add to that, you know, ACO, I don't think there's no political party in Liberia today that needs funding more than ACO. ACO is going to need a lot of funding. So that means ACO is going to do a lot of fundraising. So if ACO embraces someone in the diaspora as our chairman, ACO is going to need to do fundraising in the diaspora. If that fundraising will be spearheaded by someone who's been, indicted, accused of embezzling a simple community organization money, then how is ACO going to raise money? Where's the honesty? And more besides, just before you can wrap up, that letter thing, the letter that he been flying around as the resignation from the chairman, and I played the chairman video over and over. She also showing another letter from him. I've not verified it. I want to talk to Mr. Donzo. I want to get the two letters in my hand. If it is true that Sako wrote a counter letter asking this man to stay, and he's not showing that, he's not talking about that. To me, that's the greatest form of dishonesty. How can you trust a man like that? Go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, that is left with those that want to trust him. And for the brothers that just left the land, these are people that are misleading this particular community. I mean, there is everywhere in this world, there is nowhere in this world that election will happen, and then you expect 100% of the voters that register that will go vote 100%. It never happen anywhere.
No.
All right?
Yeah.
The part of the matter here, the election should just be heard. It's left with you to go and partake in that, or to just be, to just leave it alone, or just leave it without voting.
Right.
But all those that want to go vote, they can go vote.
Yeah.
Or if they want to tell us that we should go by majority rule, or I mean, there's no need there. We should be fighting the Camaras, because the Camara, from our tradition, we know them to be leaders.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But we don't want to deal with that. We want to deal with democracy. So, in a view of democracy, people have to go and elect their leaders.
Right.
So, after the election, what else will you want again? The president, the outgoing president, is turning to be opposition to the incoming president. I mean, I don't see any logic in that. And for the fact, for the record, say, Brakapuma, this ACO president, we know how Brasako was selected. Because let me just say, he was selected by few handful of people here. And we know, some of us brought a caution mark to it in the chat room of ACO. We've been talking about it. You can't be in ACO. You don't know your footprint when it comes to the party. People just come from behind the building and make you to be chairman. And in our corruption case is hanging on him.
Right.
We don't want for any corrupt leader or any corrupt person to serve as ACO chairman back home, and even in the diaspora. We're not going to allow it.
Okay.
He got to recuse himself and go through the process,
and clear his
be
name.
dedicated for it, then before we can see if he can serve that particular position or not.
Okay.
We're going to start that campaign right now.
Okay.
Trust me.
Thank you.
Because we're not going to allow any corrupt leader to serve the leadership of ACO.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
And I want to urge Mr. Kamara to keep faith. Nobody should talk to him to see or to try to intimidate him when it comes to this particular community. We are all part of the community. No one is greater than your friend in this particular community we're in. It's left with you, to do what you think is good. And the uniting the community is left with the incoming president, and we urging him to keep faith and then see how best he can engage the community people. So I would say thank you so much for bringing me on your show, Mr. Akumba Kuma.
It's my pleasure.
To the president-elect.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. So before this caller, though, there was a Donzo caller who was trying to make the case that the commission was not legitimate, and so therefore there's need to come back and do this. So I just want to refresh your memory. So when you address yourself to the two callers, so you don't leave one for the other. So if you want to be brief too, so we can get out of here. Yeah.
I mean, for Donzo, I think he got a little late.
Yeah.
Probably he was to work, but all the concerns were being addressed.
Mm-hmm.
All the concerns were being addressed. He talked about the chairman of the election commission resigning, and also talk about my quote-unquote team members. And I made that very clear. Mr. Khalifa Donzo, a.k.a. Flavor Donzo, Madam Masa, Kruma, Brother Sunni Ali, Kamara. These are the three people that were elected at extension. Like, they never participated in election, but because of their affiliation with us, they won. So I made that very clear. They register individually. It doesn't mean that when Bien Kamara win, then the entire team win. It doesn't work like that. If I win, you win, the other man win, then we work together.
Yeah.
But you got to win first before you become part of the ticket. Now you won. If you finish with the first day, the next day, the election commission extends certification to you. So if you reject the certification, then they recall you that you won the election, but you rejected the people's vote. So that goes in your profile. But when you accept the certification, you come for inauguration, then we become an executive council. We work together. That's how it works. But at this point, I don't have no team member. ANSU does not have no team. They have Association of Candidates. That is the reason why you saw Mohamed Sarek winning as a board member.
Yeah.
Because the other community member that is supposed to support ANSU, they voted for him. You saw Sekou Touré winning. You saw Farouk winning. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you say that Mohamed Sarek, that my team member, because you win, that's why they're not understanding. We are not saying that when because we understand what happened. Flavor, like I said, Flavor changed their mind 3 days to the election, and like the other guys, and the call came from outside. It was about Femusa call, so quote unquote Femusa call, and the people that did no call, they still calling. They still calling. Even some people that came to be peacemaker, they are involved. They are involved. We know recently that some like Quad Boni, for example, Quad Boni election, the board member did not attend. It was few board members attended. You understand? Majority of the board member never attended. You understand?
Yeah.
So Should Koduboni president be a mediator?
Of course
Can
not.
Koduboni president be a mediator? If we go by, because they both did not approve day, they both did not do this, if we go by that, will he be genuine? The answer is no. So I'm kind of confused to see even Mr. Sano, Koduboni president, being a peacemaker. I don't know. Because if we investigate your election, we have some, issues. But in FEMUSA election, so should we say there's no FEMUSA leadership right now? Should we say that if people are going to question our election? I can tell anybody, Lima current election, the recent election, it never happened in any part of the Liberian community. The resilience, the patience, the energy people expressed within from 2020 to 2021 was too much. It's not because we're going to get paid for that, but we want to sacrifice for our community. You know what I'm saying? But I always say this, it was a good exercise for everyone else to see. And from this, I'm very, very sure that most of the other community will copy from us. But what we're not going to compromise is that we're not going to be mesmerized by people to do their will that will be different from the community will. And even with FEMUSA, everybody, we're going to challenge everybody to do the same. If you ever think that you're going to come around us to mesmerize us or to come up with strategies to divert our meetings, you're making mistakes. Because it takes me very, 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 very second to disagree with people.
Okay. Thank you, President Kamara. I think we have exhausted most of our topics for tonight. We still got a few that we may not be able to touch, given time. Maybe we'll talk a little more time on some than others. We will not take more than 2 calls more if we get them, but otherwise, we'll let the phone calls be. Hopefully, people will listen to the video, they will digest it, and the message will resonate with them. So very quickly, briefly, under the Constitution of Lima, what can you do? What are you able to do and not able to do? Considering that after the election, the Constitution usually sets up, the time frame for inauguration. At the inauguration, there should be a transfer of power. Now you have a situation where clearly, from all indication, it appears that Soko Sako is not in any way, form or shape prepared to turn any power over to you. So what are you able to do constitutionally, void of Soko Sako, vis-a-vis your inauguration?
Well, the Lima is a legal organization. Trust me. We live in America. We just want to get record of everything. We have written letters that are going to be sent to the outgoing president to get ready for the transition. And we have written Facebook to inform them that we have changed of leadership. So Lima chat room is being monitored. We have written robocall telling them that we got new leadership. And whoever went to customize robocall account, limiting the robocall activity to only them. Robocall organization informed. So it's just a matter of being indoctrinated. We're going to change everything based on the relationship put into place to get them from the outgoing president. The committee for the inauguration is being constituted. Brother Abraham Kamara are going to be very, very strategic on that committee. Brother Mohamed Sharif, aka Master Adasson, is going to be strategic to that committee. Brother Mohamed Dukle, former FEMUSA president, is going to be resource person for that committee.
He's in
And we
Liberia,
got
right?
so many other great names that we're going to be coming up with in just a matter of time.
You mean for Mohamed Dukla in Liberia, former FEMUSA president in Liberia?
Yeah, former FEMUSA president of Liberia got great interest that you want to help with the transitional process. So there are so many people that have expressed interest to work with us.
Do we have any time frame?
The time frame, we are looking at in a very, very short possible period. Like I said, nobody expected us to be here today.
Yeah.
And then they get seeing us. So we kind of like working when you're doing time management, don't be specific.
Okay.
When you are specific,
but if you want to be the president of the Constitution, doesn't the Constitution mandate a specific time though? Like in MMA, after the election, I think we have about 60 days for inauguration. That's just what the Constitution says. And by the way, just to speak to when you're talking about the independence of candidates on the Constitution, that's how our Constitution is written too. We can, I can register as president, vice president, secretary, but we are all independent. We are not doing that as a team.
No.
So if we win, good, we can work together, but you don't have to win for me to win. I don't have to win because we are, so I get that part. I just let you explain so the audience can understand it. But still though, to the Constitution usually sets time out as to when inauguration is supposed to, take place. But more besides, how would you navigate the constitutionality of the fact that there wouldn't be a precedent to turn over? How does the Constitution deal with that? I looked through the Constitution. I didn't see, because this is a little bit unusual, so to speak, for the president to be running head or shorter, instead of trying to transition. So how are you going to deal with that?
The Constitution talk about it. The Constitution talk about, but the time frame that the Constitution gives have elapsed. So it is our responsibility now to carry the community back to the Constitution. There's so many damage being done within the last 4 years. The time frame to conduct election were not properly managed, either from the executive, headed by the outgoing president, and the board. The supervisory strength of the board, the outgoing board was very, very weak. Okay. You understand? Very, very weak. So that's gonna give us some challenges. But the aspect of the president not willing to turn power or winning, there were the president's skills, other skills, the last skill now. Because what people talk about is the president attend functionality, like when there's baby name ceremony, like the president go there, the president attend people program, that's the last thing that you can't take it from him. So in failing to turn power over, that also going to be an addition to the audit report. So the president cannot afford to package the audit report and being the first person in a FEMUSA committee to stay on bound. You understand? You're gonna set our record, but we're not gonna give up though. We like I said, we are writing letter that are gonna be sent to the outgoing president to get prepared for the transition. Okay. And it is his will to either honor the letter or dishonor the letter. We just want to pull record and want to make sure that we are open to negotiation, we are open to whatever peaceful engagement that the stakeholders want to do. But the bottom line with everything is that the 57 people that voted on October 17 must be respected.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, I get it. Obviously, you don't get answer to every question on a single talk show. That's why we do them over in the game. I mean, we'll leave the show tonight now understanding as to what really went down 3 days to the election that led Sako thinking that made him to change his mind. But I think in part, I kind of understood that to me, the inpouring of several calls from outside sources, to him, kind of, and that's my understanding. If you can disagree with me, but also I got among the many questions, the many comments that I'm reading, on the side of the screen here. One that really stood up to me has to do with the fact that if you were good as a VP, if being a VP for the last several years for Lima, if Soko Sako approve of that, the people of Lima approve of that, even though you were still a Boninga Madingo, if that's the argument they want to make today. So how is that different from being the president? Did they not know that when you're vice president, more than likely you are preparing to become president? They didn't see this coming?
No, the issue of mentioning Konyanka, Boninga, it was a last plan B.
Okay.
It was a plan B for the outgoing president to just scatter everything.
Okay.
He said, you know what? I don't care. Let me just put it there. But that's the last thing people will fall for. And he managed. It didn't work. It didn't work. No. Because people, like the same way, the same person just asked, because being a Bemau, whatever, being a Befula, being from my Guinea, being a Kumomi, being a Nemalon Sangitan and Coca for more being a Cola Star. I mean, what Cola Star there. So nobody listen to the president. Nobody listen to the president. You ever heard about the commissioner anymore? You don't hear, because we told the commissioner that you guys are on the dark side of history. If you ever submit yourself to that illegal commissioning, because in the first place, according to the Constitution, every committee that is to be appointed by the president need to be done in consultation with the Executive Council. That's very clear. Then when that is done, that's the first process. Then the appointee is referred to the board for the confirmation. All right. Before appointee being referred to the board, the Executive Council got to meet and there's enough reason to set up election commission. If that is not done, the process becomes illegal, and that's why that's what happened to Mr. Mohamed Kamara, aka Jumane, brother Fode Donzo, brother Adam Donzo, brother Obiba Dole, and the rest of the people that they put on that illegal commission. They're going to be on a dark side of the history. Yeah, so...
Okay. Sorry, I muted myself to do something on the phone. Okay, well, I got the feeling that this is just one of many talk shows I hope to have with you. Because, look, trust me, we will always be on the side of the truth. If I have to host you 2-3 men in the morning, so be it. I will keep this conversation alive. And thankfully for me, I don't always need guests. I can do monologue. All I need to do is to, make up my mind to understand the basis of a particular issue. And I can sit here for just the amount of time we've been here, if not longer, to, propound these same issues here. You don't have to like me. I don't thrive on people liking me. I don't go around looking for favoritism, popularity by lying with, along with people, standing with people on falsehood. I don't do that. The question has often been asked. Somebody asked me among the Bennett callers last night, people who said, why you hosting Bina, don't host him. Somebody asked me how long you been knowing him, how well, I said, how long do I need to know him? How well do I need to know him? All I need to know is Bina Kamara. He's a Madingo man, he's a Muslim man. That's all I need. All I need to know is the issues that are at fault. the issues for which you're going to come on the show. What happened? I've listened to the election commissioner. I've listened to the election tally being read. I've spoken with some stakeholders, and that's all I need. So, and for that, I'm going to put my neck down, till the very last day, until somebody can come and prove us wrong, with greater evidence, which I don't think exists when it comes to this matter. So that being said, I want to thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you on my platform. And again, like I said, I told you before, don't hesitate. Anytime you need a platform to come on, if it's worth anything to you, then don't hesitate. We will make it happen. So I want to return the microphone to you now so you can make your parting comment, and then we'll call it a night. And hopefully we apologize to our audience. That's always the case. If we didn't address all of the issues, if we didn't meet your expectation, such is the case when it comes to talk show. Time is a very difficult thing to manage. So, and that's why we repeatedly invite the same old people. So if you have question, comment, or concern you didn't get to ask today because you are at work, you were not able to call, and I was not reading text messages, my apologies to you. I'm very sure President Bien will come back on this platform. Keep your questions relevant, keep them tight, build on them, develop them even more, so that when Bien comes back on this platform, we can discuss them. We'll keep monitoring activities in Pennsylvania, and I keep pressing for the day of the inauguration, because I want to get my ticket early. I want to buy my ticket. I and my family want to buy a ticket to go to that. Well, I'm serious, yeah. My wife, my kids never been to Philadelphia. They won't go. Why better time to bring the inauguration? So I look forward to that. When the time is wrapped, let us know, inshallah. My wife, my kids, and however many people we are able to bring will come to the inauguration, inshallah. So your parting comment, Mr. President-elect, your parting comments.
Thank you. We would like to thank everybody that participated, especially the states of 5 persons that called to share their view with us. We would like to say thank you for making it so interactive. Mm-hmm. And our many viewers, people that are viewing us from other parts of the world, it could be Liberia, Europe. We'd like to say thank you for joining us. We look forward to working with all of you. Mm-hmm. Our new board member and the other executive members that committed themselves to the struggle. We'd like to say thank you very much for your support, your teamwork, and the few of our members, people that spend everything with us within a last 11 months, but lately they had a descending view. We also look forward to them, maybe from now to induction or inauguration. They're going to find their way out from those detractors and remain the type of person we knew them to be. And I'm also very sure that after this show, the few members that were thinking that we were being pushed, we being an object laying out somewhere that somebody can just come and use it, they will change their narrative, they will change their thinking towards us. And we are also kind of like feeling that they will close every argument, and people that really love the community will get back to their neutral thinking and say, you know what, Bien Camara is the way forward, and we must put the community first and support his leadership. So we would like to thank everybody, including you, Mr. Roman. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for your humanitarian gesture towards our community. And we look forward to working with every one of you that have every little part of your schedule to make our community great again. We look forward to every one of you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Camara. Let's have a good night. Thanks, folks.
Manivao. Mademoso mani madenchemao. Anitele. Sine anya kwani dole Khalifa Donzo. Kabo Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Nana video jonaka watilo. Wokunde mine. Kajiamula kafo election ye. Aita katafuti. Fiana mini. Kai balikabo. Bare midini numa nuwe ba mwa balela. Wa ngetenda twa kumadila kata election woloche sabale ni dima kumaba kona resign kera ngetenda twa wala maniva
Kamelene vela galane kawa masoro politire fe Polisora ola polisinana kana womena katanoye polutara ka politike to politikele ala akesi politikele ala akesi politikele.
All right, so folks, there you have it. We have just wrapped up a very great show tonight, by all accounts, with the People's President-elect, Honorable Bian Kamara of Pennsylvania, LIMAP, to be specific, Liberian Mandingo Associations of Pennsylvania, LIMAP in short, newly elected boss, President Kamara. We didn't get to cover all of the grounds that we are intended to cover. Notwithstanding, I think we cover sufficient grounds, for to be talked about in the days, weeks ahead, at least up until we can meet again on this platform. We couldn't have done it without you being here, all of you, far and near, fans or for, whether you like us or dislike us. If you came here, we appreciate you. If you came here now or later, we still appreciate you. And so I want to thank all of you. Thank you so very much. That being said, allow me to do just, or I almost say allow me to enjoy myself. No, I'm not going to say that. Allow me to do just a little bit of just announcements, publicity for our event this Saturday. I hope I can do this tomorrow. A specific one for President Soleimani Jabater, MMA, first ever event since COVID. COVID has been a terrible thing. Since COVID we haven't had any outdoor events. So it's been pretty much indoor. Even our very election, we had that indoor, right? I'm not suggesting that the event we're going to be dancing outdoor Saturday. That's not what I'm saying. But rather that we haven't had any social gathering, no socializing. And so I imagine, because when I was president here, I know there were times when our women were not happy because they felt they had not been entertained. Remember? That's when we had to bring Mohamed Kanja, Kuyate, see, how do you call the other guy we brought? What do you call the other guy? Whatever. Mohamed Jabi. So we brought these people to entertain our women. And so from time to time, the dynamics will change. But the one thing that is constant is that our women want to be entertained. They work too much. We all work too much. So it wouldn't be fitting. It wouldn't make sense that sometimes we take time up to have fun, to enjoy. All right? And that we're going to do this Saturday, inshallah. This Saturday, we're going to have plenty of fun. Believe it or not, my new baby ma says she got her dancing shoes, right? Mamu can't wait to go to the party. Yeah, be surprised. She'll be there. She's bringing the baby too. And I know for a fact now that President Lahi Toure has been practicing a new dancing move secretly. He and Councilwoman Hawa Kroma, Tony, they all been practicing that. He sent me the video. He said not to share with anybody. At least I'm not sharing the video, right? So I respected the privacy. He didn't say don't talk about it. He said don't share the video. So, but now you know they've been practicing in secret to come and make sure that they put up the best dancing moves, on us. Come Saturday, inshallah, one day from today, within 24 hours time, on Saturday, November 12th. No, that's November 13th, right? November 13th. I know this because November 14th is my birthday, right? So I can't miss Saturday being November 13th. So we want to encourage everybody, from far and near, young and old, male and female, rich and poor, educated, uneducated, whatever the category is. We want you to reach out to everybody to come to this party. This is a party for all. The more people, the better. Let's come and party. Let's socialize. Let's get together. That's how we used to do. When you hear some of us talking about socializing, it's just for the greater good of the community. Do I look like somebody? Well, this time around, I might be, because the fact that I saw Light to Red dancing, I brought my boom box down in my basement too, so I can learn a few moves too. So when Light to Red doing a thing, at least I'm able to do something, on the side. But on the serious note, on the most serious note, this is mostly for our families, for your wife, for my wife, for your daughter, for your children, my children. And please bring the children. Way too often we go to party, we enjoy ourselves, we forget our kids. Some of our kids are becoming of age. They are 17, 18, or 16, 17, 14, 15. If you don't bring them to see us act together, to learn our culture, to see us mingle, how are they going to know that we were friends? How are they going to know who their daddies or mommy friends are? How are they going to learn about culture? Especially Saturday, that President Jabate has permitted us to wear African attires. They need to come and see that. So please bring your family. Come one, come all. Bring your family Saturday night so that we can have fun, so that we can party together, right? So I'm going to sit here. If you are still on here and you plan to come to MMA event tomorrow, you can call to request some music. Is there a particular music that you might like to dance Saturday night and you want me to play that music for you? Maybe I'll find it, maybe I will not. But yeah, try me, test me. You call and give me the music and I'll find it for you. What's this other music? One thing I like holding down music down. Holding down, people like holding down music. So I can't tell the last time that I was off on a Saturday, but I will be this Saturday because we have a party to go to, and we expect so many dignitaries in town. A lot of good dignitaries will be here. I don't know how President Soleimani is dealing with the issue of transportation from the airport to our first venue of meeting. But I will offer my assistance. I will call the president. If he does not reach out, we will reach out to see if we can be of any assistance. Yeah, I need better Sophie. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call it a night. I've been here for a little over 2-3 hours now. And so yeah, let's meet Saturday. The doors open when 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8, 9 at the let me see this flyer again. Let's meet 8 o'clock at what's this address, man? Come on now. At the party site in Brooklyn Center, Zexay Avenue, somewhere. What is the specific building number? You know, you had a robocall, and you probably know the address better than I do. But we'll meet there this Saturday and market is Salabala. Sanyana Malabata, Sabra Bata. Okay. You heard it from me, your brother Frank Kafumba Krama, and it was wonderful being here. Thank you to all. Bye now.